when you're hearing words from above, they're gonna speak of love. Coming up from the deep, you'll find what you give is what you keep. What you give is what you keep. What you give. What you give is what you keep. When you're punched in the nose, that's how it's gonna go. A little further to the south, you're taking a shot to the mouth. A shot to the mouth. A shot to the mouth. Frightened by the sound, they say it's going round. They say it's going round. They say it's going round. When you look back to the top, might seem it never stops. If you climb back up the wall, don't stop reaching tall. Don't stop reaching tall. Don't stop reaching tall.
G'day, you mob. What is going on? Nice to see you all here. And as per standard rule of thumb, James H. 10th bucket of kudos. And about 5th or 6th on the trot, I think, in a row. S, again. Oh, this time it was a big gap. Big, massive gap. What do we got there? 38 minutes, I think, if my maths is correct. Not the 5 minutes from before. It's almost like S is giving up What's wrong, S? Where's your spirit gone? Your esprit de corps. Big D. Oh, Big D's probably out on the road. Pipex, how's it going? Lonnie, how are you today? Austin, welcome. Paddy Shatty. Back to my demented ways. You may not trimmed my beard. Yeah, that's a little bit demented. I should let it go big and bushman. Fishy mailman, hello there. I hope you go with the blue heeler on your dog choice. One of my personal faves. I do need a lot of work, though. A lot of time and energy and exercise and stimulation. It's the bloody ping. The bloody ping S. Something like that. Yeah. G'day, GRB. How's it going? Good to see you, mate, as always. Rico, in with the no. Anyway, cheers. I'm drinking one of these famous see-through Victoria Bitters, limited edition. G'day, Aubrey Wright. It tastes so much better when it's see-through. So many flies, though. They like the smell of beer, too. It's a beery kind of day, although it's nice and windy, breezy, and cool. Thank goodness, because I believe last week we were having quite a hot day, or we had some very hot days. And we have this week as well. Sunday, Monday were very hot days. But yeah, we've had a bit of a cool shift come through before the real hot stuff starts. Oh, g'day, Chewy. Oh, Chewy, you missed some. If you didn't hear the song coming into the start, you missed some Dr. Black pentatonic lead break nonsense. Or melodies, let's say. Wouldn't really call it a lead break. Would you go away? You could probably nearly see that one on the screen. It's so big. Bloody flies. Huge. Two Dougs. How's it going? Doug and Doug. Yeah, it's a really old. Oh, it's not probably not as old as some of the other ones I've played. What would that one be? Probably 14 or 15 years old. And it's called Tall Pop Heroes or Tall Poppy Rose. I think that's actually in parentheses on the title. Bit of a, I'm not sure if everyone is aware of the tall poppy syndrome. Apparently Australia is really well known for the tall poppy syndrome. That's pretty much the gist of that song. Stored in a jar in your cupboard, Rico. Isn't that where we all keep it when we get older? For the memories. Forgot to do that. Technical issues, or not issues really. Technical lapses. Forgot to do something earlier. That's all good. No one's here, mate. No one's here. You're not going to get fed. The dog can smell it too. He knows no one's here. Anyway, without further ado, g'day.
Hi.
Crikey, very dark today. Is it overcast as well there?
No, I think it's all right.
Just because of the backlighting.
Probably. I'm going to have to probably fix that door though.
How you been? What's been going on?
Not a lot of stuff. As always.
As always. Did you have a fun Halloween?
It was pretty good, actually. You know, I feel like I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do anything with my kids. We live out of town and, yeah, I just didn't really think. And I had my middle son was going to get dropped at a friend's house. And I'll do it in a sec. And so, yeah, it ended up, I got invited to come along and with my littlest one, and it was really good because he doesn't have any friends, and he got to meet the little brother of my other son's friend and stuff. So, you know, after them being so isolated for so long, I felt really
Yeah.
good that they got to get out and play with other kids and stuff.
Well, that probably would have been nice and relieving for you as well to see your son actually have some enjoyment and interaction with other children's.
Sure, just the after effects are what I've enjoyed the most. To see
As
that he
in,
actually it made him feel good. And then adding to that, because I know everyone is like really hanging to know what's happening with my kids, but he's just started a new school because he's been really unhappy at the school he's
pardon me.
been at. You know, they moved from a small school to in the bush, you know, really close-knit group into a really big school. And the kids are just really different and everything's different. And he had a bitch teacher. So so I've moved him, and he's this is his first week at the new school. And yeah, he seems lighter this last
Is
couple
the
of days.
is his new school that you've sent him to, is that bigger than the one he was just at?
No, it's
Bigger
small.
again? Or it's gone
No,
back
it's
to
small.
smaller?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And how does he find his first week?
Yeah, he's been happy. Like, yeah, not like ecstatic, but
Just
just
appreciating
like,
the difference or whatever.
yeah, he just doesn't seem as stressed out and sad every day. So that's nice. It's been a few
G'day,
days.
g'day, Chris Robertson and Xanadu. Hope you've checked your emails, Xanadu. Have a look at that. Oh, that was interesting. Let's see what happens. I know what's going to happen. What else? There was a big, massive fish convention in the Americas the weekend, wasn't it? Like, was it 2 or 3 different fish conventions all rolled into one or something? Anyway, it looks like a lot of people had a lot of fun at that. Yeah, I was kind of asking the chat about that because I've seen it splashed all over Instagram and YouTube and whatnot. So I assume a lot of people have had a lot of fun over the weekend.
Nice.
There was I don't know if you've seen Ed's stuff on Instagram, but he went as some kind of large banana.
Okay.
I'm not sure if his costume was some kind of fish or shrimp or something, or just a banana. But yeah, it was pretty impressive pictures. I wonder if I can still find it on the on the gram.
I didn't see. I'm trying to think when we were on stream with him, because he was showing some costumey item and talking about dressing up.
He was too, yeah.
But I can't remember what that was. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't full screen Instagram pictures, can you? It's not going to show it very well. He had all of his.
That looks pretty fun.
All of his face was painted yellow, and he had extra orange goop through his beard and stuff. It looked very, very interesting indeed. But before we go too much further, let's do another one of these. That'll do. We don't have a lot of time today to go on with extra long applauses. How are you today, Corvus?
What's up, dude? Oh, the Scunge. What's going on? What's happening? What's new?
My kid has a new school.
Ah, a new
Yeah.
school.
New school.
Like a new grade, or did they build a whole new building?
I moved him.
Oh, you moved him
Hmm.
to a private school, to a private.
No, just to a smaller school than he was at.
Oh, well, that's cool.
One with a good reputation for like friendliness.
That's good.
Yes, it is. It's good.
Do you think just mainly population's the key for that? Because when you've got a hell of a lot more kids together, you're going to get a higher percentage, or not necessarily a higher percentage, but proportionally more asshole kids about.
Maybe, and I think that there's an element that when there's so many kids together, I think it's harder for firstly for the teachers to monitor everything that the kids are doing.
Yeah, sure.
So in a really big group, that ends up, some of them can come off and do other
Oh,
things.
yeah.
But also, I think that when it's a small group and they all know each other, when you've only got like 5 or 6 boys in a class versus, 15 and then 30 once you put the 2 years that are the same together, and that they're more likely to all hang around together and be a friend group. But when you've got so many, they split up into multiple friend groups, and then they're sort of, there can be some competition between them, whereas when it's just a small group, it's much easier for them to all connect with each other.
Yeah, and socialize properly.
Mm-hmm. Well, like one of the one of the easiest metrics around here, like in the States, to like look at the validity of a school or not, like if it's going to be good for your kid, is just teacher to student ratio. It's like it's the easiest way to go like, that school might be a disaster. When it's like 33 kids per teacher. My God, that's like a zoo with one person trying to wrangle tigers and zebras at the same time.
We have that down here as well, but it's 30 kids to a teacher, I believe, or it was when my kids were in school.
Well, like,
but I think
it
also
varies.
some of the time they can't necessarily stick with that, and sometimes you will get classes with over the 30 kids in it.
Right. Well, it wildly varies here, from district to district, depending on the funding and situation and population density and all that kind of wacky nonsense. So
the other thing that I think is relevant is that when you've got a public school that's sort of in the middle of the sort of town and suburban areas, the kids who are there are coming from those kinds of families, and so they have a sort of one set of maybe interests, and it's a certain sort of societal group. And when you start going out to some of the little schools, they're often in a rural area, and so then you've got to imagine those families are often farming and living on the land, and so the kids are having a different experience. And so I think that also affects
the social dynamic of all the kids together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah. Obviously there's like a million different metrics that go into it. I just was trying to point out the easiest one here in the States to look at was just like, 12 kids per teacher. That's going to be pretty decent. Because they just I think they just literally have the time to be like, no, 2 plus 2 is indeed 4. Little Timmy, little Timmy Jimmy, whatever your name is, tiny tyke.
Little Timmy, think outside the box. G'day,
And they'll probably like
M&C,
know all the kids'
Steve.
names, and all that kind of stuff. I would be hard pressed to remember 30 kids' names, off the cuff.
I reckon they learn pretty early on, like, what do they call it? Association, memory by association, where you just think, oh yeah, little Jimmy there's got a big black spot below his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Brian over there, he's always swearing under his breath, and
Right.
they
We
remember
can't
it
trust
by
Brian.
associating
Hey man,
things like that.
we need to get to the important news here.
Which one?
Before we forget, is what I'm
There's so
saying.
much important
And
news
when I say we, I mean I. Before I forget, because I'm gonna forget. So this is my segue of interjecting. Hey, I'm gonna forget with my brain. We have ourselves a new trailer and a release date for sure on the Book of Boba Fett.
We sure do.
Are you excited?
Well,
You
I
don't
mean,
care.
again, I think we went through this excited thing last week, where I don't like to be excited for too many months at a time. So potentially, the first week or two of December.
This is 2 months. This is 2 months. You just can be excited every week because something else is coming out, dude.
I'm also contemplating not watching the preview until the week before because I still haven't seen the trailer yet.
I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed.
You don't respect my nonchalance for the excitements, is it?
No, I literally went and watched it because I was like, oh, Blacky's going to want to talk about that. I better go watch that and take some notes on my brain and be like, okay, I know kind of what's going on with this trailer. And then now you're just like, nah, I don't care. Like,
Shall
all
I?
right, well, cool, man. Neither do I. I don't care either.
I can always just mute myself and duck away and watch it. It's like only a minute and 20 seconds long or something, isn't it?
It's 2 minutes long. It's 2 minutes long of dead air. And I'm not going to believe you when you say you got to go pee. You'd be like, I got to go pee, guys, while you're like...
How could it
here,
be dead air with you two there to chat?
And you leave the audio on? And you're going to like leave the audio on? We can hear it in the background? Like, is that a laser beam? I heard a laser beam. He doesn't pee lasers. I know it.
Let's see what happens. I wonder will I get cancelled though?
I don't know, probably. Would you get canceled? Why would you get canceled?
Because you'll be able to hear the noises.
I mean, you might get a copyright strike, but you legit aren't even a monetized YouTube channel, so they might just get pissed, and be like, "Oh, you can't watch the replay." I think you'll be fine. I don't know. You don't have to watch it. It doesn't matter. You don't even care.
Oh, I do. I just, enjoy my nonchalance.
No, I mean, like, I know that you're not even a Star Wars fan anymore, so, it's clear.
Yeah.
You've given up. Which, hey, it's admirable, after all these years. Just to give it up like that. Cold turkey, even. It's robust.
How many of the comics have you read?
100 million.
Like Crimson Dawn one is coming out in December, I think.
I've read all of the comics, even the ones that haven't come out yet. There's somebody out there that's going to write a comic that's not even born yet. I've already read that one.
Why speak of conflict? A corporation can make us all rich. What prevents us all from killing and taking what we want?
He had spoken such insolence to Jabba. He'd have fed you to his menagerie.
I recognize that dude, even through his makeup.
You'd be all like, hey, I know that guy. I guess my question I have is he going to throw anybody in the Sarlacc pit now that he knows what it's like?
But I think we're still uncertain as to whether the Sarlacc is alive because we don't know if he had to kill it to get out of there.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we don't know if it's alive. We don't know if there's another one. Is there another one on another planet or on the other side? Is this actually? Did he actually get thrown in the buns hole, and there's actually a mouth hole on the other side of the planet? Or what? Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what's going on.
Well,
we haven't read all the comic books.
I think what was the one where they were getting Oh, that was in the Bad Batch where they had to help get the baby Rancor for Jabba. You know, who's to say that he still doesn't have 34 Rancor monsters down there somewhere?
They
waiting to
should still
eat.
be down there, right?
Yeah.
Why would they be out? Why would they have escaped?
Yeah, no, they would have still, you know, kept a handler down there to feed them and whatnot, keep that going.
Right.
Yeah, it's a delicate line to balance on Aubrey. BJ, how are you? I probably missed a few other hellos, did I? I think I got Zip Gun and M&C and Steve Baratic before. BJ, I've just said hi to you. Cichlids Aquarium Keeper. Hello, CAC. What else has been going on?
Strong. Huh?
I said, what else has been going on?
All sorts of intrigue. All sorts of wild times. All sorts of Halloweens. All sorts of tricks and treats and shenanigans abound.
It was very interesting having Halloween fall on a Sunday.
It's a weird one, man, because it was literally like Friday, everyone's excited for Halloween. Saturday, everyone's excited for Halloween. Sunday, everyone's excited for Halloween. And it's like,
After church.
can we just keep running the gauntlet of Halloween? How long does this last? Oh, my God. Days and days. Tricks and treats. It's a lot.
It was like there was kids walking around dressed up all day long on Sunday when they should have been in church.
I know, they should have churched. The Satanic Church isn't going to keep itself open. Okay, you should be there on Sunday, tithing into the bin, or whatever. I don't know. What do they do at church? Like, other than the potential felony crimes, right?
Do you think that the Church of Satan is as generous with their tithe, or do you think they potentially go to 6% and be even more generous, or do they go to 66% and be devils about it?
It's probably 66.6, I would think. So, by the way, from all evidence that I've seen from the Satanic churches in the United States, they are extremely generous with their volunteering and whatnot. But you know, what do I know? I'm not in that church either. They're all trash as far as I'm concerned.
What would you think, Scungy?
I was going to say that based on the small amounts that I know of some of the philosophy behind the worship of Satan, I would think that they would not support people giving their money to the church and rather to keeping it for themselves.
Yeah, that would make sense, actually.
Perhaps what they put in the baskets is, you know, not monetary, but some other offerings.
Yeah. I tend to agree.
I think it's weird. I think it's weird to be offered something like forever afterlife. You know, the forever afterlife, all that. Like, I think it's weird to need to be offered that in order to do something reasonable now. It seems weird.
Yeah. Especially when it's not a guarantee. So just enjoy the life that you've got in a nice way.
Yeah, just do a good job now. You can't put it off till later. You just do a good job now. That's it. Easy peasy.
Well, at least I guess one positive to come out of that is if the people who firmly believe that, at least once they're dead, and if that doesn't exist for them, some form of eternal afterlife, then they're not, they're not conscious to ponder about what they did wrong in their life. There's no regret once you're dead if there's no afterlife. Does that make sense?
That's true. That's true. No regrets. Go big. No regrets.
Regrets.
Oh, I did post up on my Discord project update today. People are wondering what it is. It was demolition day today. That's what it is, fools.
What did you demolish today? Demolished, I think I just said.
A bunch of a store, what used to be a store, sledgehammery stuff. Kind of
What
wish I
about
had my
your
chainsaw today, but would have been helpful.
What about your joint? Where are you up to on your own house?
On my house?
Yeah, did you finish your kitchen?
Yeah, it's been done for a long time. I mean, I have like a couple pieces of trim to put up or whatever, but it's just because I'm like, whatever.
Just the looks bit.
I was working on
Just
the exterior of the house because I replaced some windows and reframed them out to smaller windows that are more energy efficient than the old window that was in there. So I fixed a bunch of siding, and then I got a couple more patches of siding to fix, and then I'm gonna paint the exterior. And I think once I'm done with the painting the exterior, we'll probably put this house on the market.
And move to Cabarita.
Yeah, we're moving to Australia. We're moving down under. Actually, we're moving to New Zealand. What is it? The Whitey Whitey Ting Bang or whatever it's called. Who knows? Whatever it's called.
On your way to since you're such a motivated DIY type guy, on your way to New Zealand, come past here because I've got a shit ton of jobs piling up that I could really do with someone to do that I don't have to do. I still got a new clothesline to install.
You got to do your own thing, man. You got to get that done, dude.
Yeah, I know. I got to.
Oh my God, BJ said hi to everybody. Oh my God, that's power.
It's a solid list, BJ.
I like it. That is enthusiastic. I like it. BJ's just a good contributor to the internet. I mean, let's be honest here. Bringing positive contributions. Got something stuck in my tooth. My commute home today was mind-boggling. Called my cousin and was like, I'm doing 8 miles an hour on the freeway. What's up? What are you doing?
I thought it was only LA that got that traffic.
Oh, no. Fishy Mailman says, Joel out to Eastern Washington. No, I won't be moving to Eastern Washington. That'll probably be 20 years from now, I think, at this point. But I found a couple of places of land up north. We will be moving north of Seattle, which is about a 110-mile stretch of area, so as not to dox myself. Oh, I was demoing the space next door to the aquarium co-op so I could move in there. I'm just going to move into a retail space and charge people like window admission. You know, you could come watch me living my life, watching the Book of Boba Fett
on a yoga mat in the corner behind the shelf.
On my yoga mat, hot yoga, Bikram hot yoga mat, watching the Book of Boba Fett. I haven't figured out what the admission price is going to be yet, but I will tell you the experience will be priceless.
So 50 cents.
Approximately. That's what we call 4 bits.
4 bits?
4 bits, buddy. That's 50 cents.
Wait, does that mean that a bit is 12 and a half?
2 bits is 25 cents.
So a bit is 12 and a half.
There's no a bit. You can't get 1 bit.
Got to start at 2 bits.
25 cents.
Yeah. Interesting systems all over the place.
We don't have a half cent here. Do you have a half cent down in Australia?
No, we try not to even have 1s and 2 cents. We try and do everything by 5 cent increments nowadays. We outlawed the 1 and 2 cent coins.
You got rid of that?
Yeah, but they still make price tags of $12.99, $11.98, $17.97.
Yeah, but that includes tax, doesn't it? Already, your prices.
Yeah,
when they're posted up. See, ours don't. Ours won't. Ours don't include the tax. So you get up there and be like, "Oh, I think I got like $200 worth of groceries," and they're like, "That's $233," and you're like, "What in the f just happened?" Somebody's getting chopped in the neck, karate style, you know. And then you're like, "Well, I can't legally karate chop anybody, so I guess I'll just pay." But then you're like, "Now I don't have any money left for candy or whatever that you wanted to have fun," and you're just sad and you cry and you fall down and
Yeah, ours is all included in the price, but they do nowadays break it down and they show you how much tax you've paid out of those things on that receipt.
right, just to let
And
you know.
Blake brings up an interesting point too about that. That we shouldn't have five. And g'day, Blake, by the way. Shouldn't have 5, 10s, or 20-cent coins as well because they're pretty useless. Nothing
Well-
really goes down to those increments, and like he says, they cost us a lot of money to mint all of these coins.
Okay, so if you, so let's say that petrol, as you weirdos call it, let's say one day it's, what do you guys go by, the liter of petrol, weirdos. Let's say one day that petrol is $4.10 a liter, but you don't have a 10-cent piece because they've outlawed them. So
who's
now
getting-
it's just five. Now it's just $5 a liter.
No one's getting 1 liter of petrol.
Yeah, per
That's like-
liter though.
That's 2
So you
pints.
just round up.
Yeah,
Well, what you do is you decide if you're going to get $5 worth or $10 worth or $20 worth, and then you just put that much in, and however many liters it is.
And those that do
What
a
if
full
you just want to
tank,
fill up your tank like a regular
that-
human?
if you get
Then
to,
you might have some change.
nah,
Yeah, but
you
where
just-
does all
yeah.
where does all that where do all those 40-cent charges go? They made Superman 2 about this, all right?
Well,
They just
they
round up or
also
round
have
down.
these
They
things.
round up and round down, and they took the $1 billion and they ran away, and they stole all the money, and we all got sad. I got sad. I cried. They had to call Zool or whatever, the anti-Superman or the Superman guy, Kal-El.
Pardon me. What were you going to say before, Scungy? About the fuel?
She was
I
saying
don't
you
know.
just give them like $20 and they'll do the math, right?
Oh, maybe I was just going to say we have these really cool things called like key cards, and you can just pay with that, and they
Right.
just take the amount out of your bank, and then you don't have to fish around for coins either.
Well, that's true. That's true. But, you know, in the United States, we got like 340 million people, and there's a lot of people in the U.S. that don't have a bank account. So I'm just saying that, like, if we get rid of those small increment of money, we just end up punishing like poor people. Is basically what it ends up being. I've talked about it a lot of times because the U.S. has been saying that like they want to get rid of the penny forever. And a lot of the big argument has to do with like the only people that will be affected by it is poor people. Like, that's just basically what it boils down to, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would get rid of it and I would just say let's just go all electronic money or whatever. But I feel like anything that like would just like unduly affect poor people, I feel like just we'll suck it up and pay the extra $1 million a year to make pennies or whatever the hell it is, you know. Since
G'day,
it's all
Derek.
imaginary anyhow.
Yeah. Currency is a very interesting debate, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
Definitely
like
don't like the concept of getting rid of cash money and everything
I mean,
being.
I don't even like the concept of money, period. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's all crazy.
Just hoard silver. We'll be back to a silver economy in
It's
no
not
time.
it's not a cell phone, but we do have a fair bit of hoarded metallic things around the state of Washington and Alaska. If need be, if we need those precious metals, you know, so that we could barter for toothpaste or whatever.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's just got this slightly less dangerous feel than gold, but still valuable enough.
Well, plus
yeah.
you can protect yourself from werewolves with that. So
Valid
That's
point,
true.
Reg.
That is true. But you'd have to have a gun first, right? I guess you could make it in an arrow. Does that count? Or does it have to be a bullet?
I think arrows work.
Do arrows
But
work? Okay.
yeah, it's got to pierce their heart, doesn't it?
Does anybody in Australia know how to make an arrow?
Yes, we have Fletchers down here.
Okay. Okay, good.
my son is becoming quite adept.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He makes his own bows and
I forget what.
and carves out his own little arrows and stuff and
Uh-huh.
tests them out, works out what kinds of wood and stuff are
There's
working
like
best for him. And yeah,
There's like a world famous Australian YouTuber that makes stuff. I forget what it's called. Gosh, I should remember what it is. And I watched him making a 50 caliber hammer the other day. And I feel like there's definitely a possibility that he could become like an awesome crafty YouTuber at some point. Where did this go? 50 caliber hammer. Oh man, now I can't find it. I watched it the other day. It was brilliant. I wanted to share it with you guys. I'd be like, it's obviously an Aussie guy, so you must know him, right? Because there's only like,
must do.
oh my god, here it is. I made the world's most powerful hammer. Okay, hold on, pause. Is this channel called I Did a Thing? Here, I'll share the link with you. I'll share the link with you because this guy's hilarious as hell. I really like his stuff. I think he's Aussie. I think he's Australian. I don't know. I get the vibe that he's Australian. Maybe he's, I don't know, something that I don't know about. But I really like the video, and it just flashed into my mind when you said your son started making arrows. I was like, oh, there is true craftiness abounding in Australia. Made a 50 caliber hammer. And it's a hilarious video. And I've watched some of his other videos, and they're quite funny too.
We me and
Maybe
my
that's
brother.
something you could do during the quarantine, lockdown, pandemic madness. Who knows?
Me and my brother, when we were kids, we used to make bows out of. We had out in the trees out on the creek bank. There's like a bamboo that grows like a vine up through the trees and stuff.
Mhm.
And we used to get 4 or 5 foot lengths of that and make them into bows. And while the bamboo was still nice and green, you'd have this wicked bow that worked super well, but you'd only get about 2 or 3 weeks out of one stick before the bamboo got too dry, and then would split where your string was over the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were choice. I think it might even be called bamboo vine.
It
But yeah,
might be.
it's no
I'm pretty
you.
sure. I'm pretty sure they make all sorts of crazy stuff out of bamboo, but now it's actually being made like more common. Like now they're making toilet paper out of bamboo. I don't know if you've been getting those ads. We've tried the toilet paper bamboo, and I got to tell you, it gets like about a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if they've quite perfected the bamboo TP, if you know what I'm saying. Tissue paper for your butt.
And they've got the bambillo.
A bambillo? A bamboo pillow?
Yeah, well done.
That sounds uncomfortable. I'm already uncomfortable just thinking about it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's probably good because it grows in the crack of your ass if you stand still long enough. So,
right.
If they can pulp it up and make stuff out of it, go for it. But yeah, not necessarily things that need to be in contact with one's delicates.
Right. BJ Palmer. Wait, who is super interested in the bank? Oh, Blake's wondering about bank accounts in the United States. Okay.
Yeah, if you can open
bank
one
accounts
for free.
in the United States are incredibly confusing to people that are not in the States. Maybe it's similar to Australia, but when we talk about like poor people with bank accounts. It is very easy for somebody to get their bank account status revoked. You basically get added to a list. And to explain the function of it is that if you have money in your bank account, like let's say you have $3,000 in your bank account and your balance never goes under $1,500, right? You will never be charged a fee to have your bank account there. But if you go under a certain dollar amount, you get charged a fee every month, right? And if you're somebody who happens to be living paycheck to paycheck and really kind of scrounging and pinching your pennies and stuff like that, in the United States, they allow what's called overdraft protection, which means they'll allow you to charge money that you don't have to your bank account card. Then you incur a $29 fee. So if you're somebody who's like regularly getting close to the zero amount in your bank account, it's very easy to have like lost track or missed some kind of fee or something, and you go under, and now you get charged a fee for going under. And then what's crazy is that your bank account is now in a negative state because they charged you negative money, and now you're incurring basically a penalty because you got penalized by the system that it works in, right? And all this stuff doesn't seem like a very big deal if I just talk about it now, because most people have some money in their bank account and they're not really all that worried about it. But when you're in that desperate time, like a good friend of mine at one point in time didn't have any money, and their bank account was at like negative $80 for like 2 months. They eventually got the money, went to the bank and was like, "Look, I want to get my bank account into regular standing." And the bank was like, "Okay, give us $80." They basically zeroed out her bank account and then said, "You can't have a bank account anymore." So they were like, "Thanks for giving us the money you owe us. Now you don't have a bank account." What's very interesting, and I don't know if this has changed since then, it may or may not have changed since then, but at the time, she got added to a list that all of the other banks wouldn't let her open a basic bank account because she had been delinquent on the other bank account, right? So it's just like this reoccurring mayhem of nonsense. So then what she did is she went to a payday loan place, which I don't know if they have those in Australia, but she went there, and you get
under investigation at the moment down here, big time.
Yeah, and you get a prepaid bank card where you like preload with money, which, by the way, they charge you to put money onto this bank account card. So now you get charged a fee for being able to have electronic money, right?
Yeah,
and
it's
then
not a
what's
small
very
fee,
interesting is that you get charged like, I think it was like $8 for every $100 that you put on there or something, right? So it's an 8% tax on you being able to have money and it be a card, which, by the way, is an unsecured card. Like there's no, like it basically doesn't have a PIN or anything like that. So if you lose it, you're just screwed, right? But regardless of any of that, now you get an 8% fee on how much money you had. And what was very interesting is that there are places that charge you a transaction fee for using an unsecured bank card like that. Because they're like, well, we have to access these other accounts, and it's like super hard for us to do that because we basically just stand behind the cash register and watch it, and then it says that it's been paid. So that's gonna go ahead and cost you like $3.50, right? So you just it's like this crazy system of like just pure insanity. That, you know, it's literally been designed by people who are really smart and they take advantage of it. And I think it's in the US, it's something like $30 billion a year or something like that the banks make in just surcharge fees. You know, it's bonkers how much money they make over it. And you got to realize it's because they have this like deep need to buy a giant ship that has a giant ship inside of it, that has a giant ship inside of it, that has a yacht in it, that has a jet ski inside the yacht with a helicopter pad on top of it. and then do some Scrooge McDuck swimming around in their gold vault nonsense and weird mask parties, you know, those weird sex mask parties that we saw in the Eyes Wide Shut. It's like that's what they need. They need to do that, so then they create these systems that are like, we got to get the money, and we're going to get it from the poors that can't fight back, and then we'll be able to do that.
It's unfortunate that it's been that way for such a long time, but you know, maybe one day we can change.
We all think it's
Maybe one day
normal
we'll know
that the
better.
Vanderbilts are back and the Rockefellers are back.
Rockefellers.
Yeah, and the
G'day, Skipper.
Carnegies. The Carnegies have returned. You know, they're all just called Musk and Bezos. You know, it's nonsense. Who's the guy that owns Boeing? Who's that guy? That guy sucks. I hate that guy.
It's not Mr. Boeing, is it?
I don't even know. It's probably just like a whole bunch of shareholders, creeps. You know.
Yeah, they probably got sold on when
Yeah,
Grandpa
the original
Boeing died off.
original owner of Boeing was all in favor of redlining towns up here.
What's that mean?
It's don't allow houses to be sold to black people because they're
Yeah.
black. Yeah, real trash company, real trash founding of a company. But you know, most
Welcome
people
back,
don't
Big
want to
B.
learn. Most people in the States don't want to learn about that because they go like, "It's a company, and they've taken a chance to provide you with a job." Okay, yeah. Well, they're huge racists that just hoarded money forever. Okay, rad.
G'day, Alyssa.
Cool.
How's it going?
I'm in a bad mood today. Have you noticed? Like, I'm in a good mood, but I'm in a bad mood.
Well, I'm so glad we got onto the topic of money and banking then, so you could vent a little bit.
Well, I'm driving. So I spent all this time driving on the road, right, on the freeway, the longest drive ever. And I can't help but sit there and look at the side of the freeway where they're building this bridge, or they're building a train, like a train that goes up and down and delivers humans around. And I can't help but be frustrated because it's a $44 billion project that they're building this train here that goes from like way up north to way down south. Great. I love that. It's amazing. I love it. I love trains. Cool. Badass. Public transportation.
Electrical or
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. It runs on seal blubber. Who cares? Like, it just, at this point, who cares? It's carrying people around, and it doesn't have to be a car. You know, there's 9 million cars on the freeway. It's bonkers. Anyhow, and I'm all in favor of it. Like, let's do that. Let's build trains that go everywhere. Let's build trains on my head. Let's build trains in my backyard. I don't care. Let's do it. Why not? But it irks me to know that train that they're building right now that goes from Everett to Seattle to Tacoma used to exist. That train that they're building now for $44 billion used to exist.
we have the very
And
similar situation here.
the forefathers of this area, whom I would like to exhume and slap in the face. I would like to exhume their corpses and just give them old slap-a-rooney. Decided, and by the way, this wasn't even like a secret decision. They did it on purpose. They purposefully promoted automobile travel and transportation in the area and forced the trains out of service.
Exactly the same thing happened here.
Yeah. And it's like, how the hell did we get here? Oh, the scumbags that redlined all the towns, the scumbags that just extracted all this money out of World War II, the scumbags that cut down all the forests, the scumbags that threw mercury in Lake Union. They filled
And
Lake
the ones
Union
that-
with mercury for like 50, 60 years. Like, after they knew that it made you insane to get mercury on you. Fucking crazy. Supposed
Yeah,
to
and the
respect
one-
those people? How am I supposed to respect those people?
And the ones that profit off the petrol and road building and stuff like that encouraged much more transport to go on big rigs and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but all the big roads around here got built because of World War II. They built all the interstate highways from World War II so they could move troops around faster in case we got invaded by, I don't know, Japan that's like 4,000 miles away. You know, like, are they invading? I mean, across the freaking ocean, man. Like, what the like,
G'day, Holly. Freaky
Yeah,
fish
well,
lady.
Freaky
Yeah.
Fish Lady says, I went into a Walmart on my way to Aquashella and was literally the only light-colored person in it. A beautiful lady ran over to me to tell me how much she loved my cowgirl boots. I'm not mad. Although I do hate Walmart, and the Waltons can suck it. Those trash mongers. I hate the Waltons.
Waltons.
I don't go to
Is that-
Walmart.
Is that who owns it? It's not. You're not talking about the TV show. Another Michael York reference.
It's the Walmart family. The Waltons. What are they? Yeah, the Walton family. So they're individually like 6 of the richest people in the world
Wow.
because they split up their wealth to act like they're not so wealthy. They like split it up between all the kids and the whoever.
And it
Here,
still
how
made them
rich-
incredibly wealthy.
Yeah. So in 2015, the 6 Waltons on the Forbes 400 list were worth 136 billion, making them the richest family in the United States. I bet they're mad. I bet like whatever flag they have in their computer like tracking system just got super pissed that I said that they suck. Yeah, it popped up somewhere in their database. And now my search engine's in German. Okay. Not helpful. I don't know what happened. Recently I think my computer thinks I'm German and French now. Half of everything I try to read is in French.
No, there's the Waltons preemanating that you were going to do something.
Yeah, they've been sneaking into my computer. They paid them off. It's pennies to them. They don't even care. They don't even care.
G'day, DD.
The Walmart sucks. I hate that family. Oh god, they're just disgusting. They're pigs. Is that mean
Yeah,
enough
well,
for you?
Yeah.
They're disgusting. I don't like them.
I mean, it's in the chat as well. Big D's
Yeah.
having a go at them as well.
Yeah,
so,
Big D's right. Big D is correct.
We're opening up all the doors. Let's get those Waltons. Come
Patty
at us.
says, let's talk about puppies and kittens. Hey, man, I tried to talk about Star Wars, and we got shut down. We got shut down by our host. I was just
Hey,
like,
I
I
watched-
wanted to talk about how interesting the trailer looked because he's taking over Jabba the Hutt's empire, and they literally are having the meeting in the trailer where he goes like, we're not running it like the Hutts used to. And like, it just seems very interesting to me where the direction is going to go, because it's clear that the Mandalorians are going to get. We're going to get to see some of the shrewd political genius that is the Mandalorian, like in the forefront. Like Mandalore was like in this like what 2,000 years of struggle or whatever the hell it was back and forth with all the.
Civil war amongst themselves.
Yeah, with all that, like the houses battling back and forth, and these people taking over, and those people, and they lost the dark saber, but then now the dark saber's back or whatever. Seems very interesting to me. But now we're talking about the Waltons because they suck. They're blood-sucking vampires. I hate them. But I like Star Wars.
So was it not contradictory in that trailer for Boba Fett that at one point he's saying we're not running this like the Hutts, but then a little bit further in the trailer, I think it was later in the trailer, he was saying how if you spoke to Jabba like this,
Yeah. Well, because I think at the beginning he was saying that like we could work together and make something better than just being drug smugglers and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what like kind of the premise of that little trailer. And then they're like, "Who are you?" And then he's like, "Well, I think he basically is explaining like I'm far more powerful than Hut ever was, and he would have just thrown you in the Sarlacc pit at this point, or as they said, fed to the menagerie, which just means weird dinosaurs.
Yeah, GRB. That was my Michael York reference before asking about John Boy. And we also got the news that Anakin, aka Hayden Christensen, is going to appear in the Ahsoka TV series as well as the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah, it seems like there's going to be a real solid. It's going to be some real solid filling in of the other characters for once in our lives. We don't have to like Skywalker it up for like 5 minutes, probably.
I will reiterate what I've said many times on this show before, is that the comic books do certainly fill in a lot of story holes, and we've got a lot of story holes being filled up with the Bounty Hunter series, and now the Crimson Dawn comics coming out in December, filling in so many of this lead up stuff into what's it called? Whatever the first one was, The Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi. No, what was the bloody episode 7?
It
was The Rise of Skywalker, wasn't it?
I think it was the right. I don't know. I'll look it up. I know you don't have a computer, so I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm still on my fax. I do these live streams from my fax machine.
Well, I spilled a whole cup of coffee over my keyboard yesterday, so it's like sort of working. It's kind of hard to type things in and have them be correctish.
Sleep well, fishy mailman. Thanks for swinging by. I'll see you next time.
Why are you leaving me? Oh, he's got to sleep. Yeah, I got to sleep too. He's going to get up at 3 and then go to hammer smash things with a smashed hammer. Force Awakens was number 7.
Right.
Force Awakens.
Yeah, so
then number 8 was like Skywalker Awakens, and then 9 was like Skywalker Awakens with a rise boner or whatever. Yeah, morning Skywalker Morning Woodwalker.
I think there's a big push to try and, because a lot of people complained about where the story went with 7, 8, 9. So there's a big push at the moment to fill in a lot of those blanks and try and make some of it make sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to fill in that gap for anything to make sense, and then you got to somehow like supplant 7, 8, and 9 out of people's brains somehow. Like at some point in time, they're going to hit that point where they're going to run into that timeline, and it's going to have to be just like, I don't know, a news report or something. It's going to like, because I think that they've handled that now, that you could be in an other part of the universe, right? Because with the episode where they were on the mining planet part with the miners, remember that?
In which one?
In the Mandalorian, one of the episodes, they were on that place
where they had to drive that truck.
Yeah, the mining town, and like the miners found out that the Empire was down, or what was it? Whatever. The Death Star was blown up, and then the miners just went nuts because they're like, "Hey, no one's in charge anymore. Now we're in charge. We're gonna murder everybody or whatever." So I think that they've established that you could be in another part of the universe and just get Ted Brokaw breaks in like, and this week in the space news, Starkiller Base was destroyed, and moving on, taxes are high on Bubba farts, whatever, I don't know. But
and the Twi'leks won the rugby championship.
Yeah, you could just like bust in with some kind of like, oh, we found out it's rad, and there's some fireworks, and then moving on. Never mind any of that over there, guys. We're just moving right along in the storyline, and there was a thing, but they're not here now, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. So we'll just move on. Like, I think that's what they're basically. I think realistically, that's probably what they're going to do. Like when we extrapolate and get to that point where it runs into that, it's just going to kind of be like, and then 5 years went by and the grass grew and we just lived here on this planet, and then oh no, there's another baddie, right? And then you got to go back to whatever, doing your thing, doing your Mandalorian thing, and baby Grogu is bigger now. Somehow escaped murder. New Jedi.
There's a theory too that we'll see a slightly, well, not very much older Grogu. There's rumors of a Jedi Academy TV show coming as well, which will be a Luke Skywalker centric show with his post Return of the Jedi Academy.
Please don't do that.
I want it. I want it big time. There's so many opportunities for Luke Skywalker stories between Return of the Jedi and whatever
He's
worked
He's
Force Awakens.
like 70 years old.
What now? Yeah, I'm talking
Yes,
about.
Mark Hamill is like 70 years old or whatever. How old is he? 65? How old is Mark Hamill?
Yeah, he's
Mark
too old
Hamill,
to certainly be in the Luke Skywalker
age.
show.
How old is Mark Hamill now? He's 70 years old. He's literally 70 years old. I was joking that he was 70, and he actually is 70. He's 70 years old. Okay. Carrie Fisher died. Carrie Fisher died of old age while they were filming. Like, if they haven't learned their lesson, they never will, I guess.
No,
we'll just keep making Luke stuff forever. We'll just keep making the Wolverine movie over and over again as they just age out. Harrison Ford's 9 million years old. He's not going to be around much longer. He's 79 years old. Statistically speaking, he's not going to live much longer. And if you remember, he got the flu when he was in Indiana Jones, and he, instead of having a fight scene, he just shot that guy to death. And so we know he's susceptible to catching illness. Okay, we know that. Even in his prime, he was catching the flu. Okay, so he's not going to live much past 79. And he's dangerously flying around airplanes and just having amnesia or senior moments whilst flying an aircraft. So how long is he going to be around?
I think it's primarily an opportunity just to get audiences used to different actors playing roles. You know, they can't just rely on this one person to be this person forever.
Once again, it's a universe. How long does Grogu live? 700 years? He's got legs.
Died at 900.
He's got, that's what I'm saying. He's got legs as an actor. The Mandalorian can literally be played by anybody who can move their body around, right?
And funnily enough, I heard that in season 3 of The Mandalorian, a considerable part of The Mandalorian is not played by old mate. It is indeed played by the stunt double because, all that Pedro Pascal has to do is voiceovers, really, if he has his hat on the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
G'day,
so
Terry.
they've literally started to build the universe where your actors don't age out and die because they've literally learned that you can't do that. So I don't know. I'm just I don't know. Just stop. Like the Skywalker story has been told. It's been told. It took 44 years to get to the 40-something years to get to the. It's been told. Just do Star Wars stuff around the whole universe. They have a whole universe to do Star Wars stuff. There could literally just be other Jedi just too far away to have even known that the other Jedi were over there doing stuff. Or they were just hiding. Maybe they were just hiding. I don't know. Maybe they're hiding out. They were
I'd definitely be an avid viewer of a Quinlan Vos show. He was one of the best ones, and his presence is still unaccounted for.
Right. That's all I'm saying is that you got to stop with the rehashing of the old character that you just can't. I don't know.
Why?
I think we learned our lesson with Wolverine, right? Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman doesn't want to be huge anymore. He just wants to be Hugh. He doesn't want the GE on the end of his name anymore. He doesn't want to be huge. He just wants to be Hugh. Regular old Huey, baby.
To be honest, I think the current production of Star Wars stuff, I think they're doing a nice balance of Skywalker stuff and other stuff. I reckon we'll see very little, Obi-Wan or Skywalker in the Book of Boba Fett.
I bet you. We probably won't see any in there. If we do, I'll be super pissed and no one will care. That's basically what will happen. That's what will literally happen is I'll be like, and I'll be all pissed off, and no one will give a rat's ass what I thought about, and that's really what will happen. If I would like to pass on my premonition to you, that's what would go on.
No doubt. No doubt.
And then you'd be like, I love Luke, and I'd be like, I know. And then I would sigh and go like, is there a new character that we could talk about? No. Now we have to talk about Han Solo again.
I like
who
Luke
was
so
named
better.
after the guy from the port. Remember? He was actually his namesake was passed on to him by the guy who worked at the admissions
Yeah,
place
I
at that one port, the
other day I read a 4 comic book series called The Rise of Kylo Ren, and there's a particular page or two of that where he's complaining to Snoke that his dad's name is not even a real name; it was just made up. I like that little reference.
Oh, Kylo Ren? Yeah, he just made it. He just made that up.
That was a pretty good story involving the Jedi Academy and Kylo's involvement with the Knights of Ren. That was a pretty good story. That fills in a few blanks of how he got to where he was as well, which is good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, we got to think like, where did Han Solo come from? Where did he come from?
What do you mean? He was born on that planet.
I mean, like, where did he come
Corellia.
from? Like, where did he come from? And if we assume that's where he came from, how do we even know that that's true? Because it might be he might have just been given like a name by some guy who was around.
G'day, Charish.
See, because I'm not Corvus, I'm Brup Smellerton.
I've often wondered why you don't wear the moustache, as in your real one.
I don't like it.
Does it like tickle your nose or these bits up?
The real thing is that I don't like it, so I just cut it off, and then I'm just like, yeah, that's just how I am now, and then I'm like, that's fine. And it makes me look a lot older when I have the full goatee. To people, they're like, this guy's 50 years old. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm 400 years old. And then I bite them because I'm a vampire.
Yeah, I used to.
Now that I admitted it, you're all in danger.
I used to take off the moustache and the bit under my lip. And then people at the pub that I was drinking with would call me Abraham Lincoln, so I thought, I'll just stick with a moustache.
That's fine. I mean, you're not even American, so it doesn't matter. But I'm American. If you call me Abe Lincoln, I'd be like, okay.
You don't have the sideburns for it, mate.
I'd just be like, I just don't care. I'd be like, all right, good. You're doing good over there. That's what I would tell him. You're doing good. You're doing great. I love it. Are you going to put Luke Skywalker in your next episode? Probably, because you're derivative as fuck. And then they'd be like, well, I guess. And then they would just give up and cry and lay down in a mud puddle and be sad.
Can I just say that derivative as fuck would be a pretty cool shirt?
That'd be a good shirt. I wonder if somebody makes that. I wonder if that is a shirt.
No punctuation. All lowercase, derivative as fuck. Perfect. It's got it all.
Damn, they don't. Nope. Nobody makes that shirt.
Quick, put it up.
There's a bullshit derivative.
Scungy's going to go to sleep, and I was just about to ask her to show us what she's been working on. Hopefully, she didn't lay in some watercolor.
Yeah.
I don't work on anything good.
I don't.
Scungy, are you sad? Did I make you
No.
sad? I make myself sad. So I understand if that was the case. So I'm just trying to have some understanding. Just clunking down a pint. Weren't you drinking out of a bottle earlier? Where'd you get a glass?
You know, I've always got one nearby.
Oh, all right. All right.
Mixing it
I
up.
dig it.
I've had three different types of drinks today already.
Oh,
I had a turkey soda and a Victoria bitter, and then that was a turkey Pepsi.
turkey Pepsi. All right.
Yeah,
Is y'all's Pepsi made out of cane sugar or is it corn syrup?
and let me check. Check that. I would imagine cane sugar because it's readily available in this country.
Oh man, driving back to Missouri. Freaky Fish Lady is driving back to Missouri. I was
Yeah,
in
just said
Missouri a
sugar.
couple years ago. I should go back. I had a good time there. I got muddy. I jumped over a fence. I jumped in a rock quarry. I ran up and down some hills. I went to the Shaker Village. We went to some caves. These are my the old guy reader glasses. What's up now?
Yeah, well, I was wondering if you're using them because you actually need them, sorry, or is your something gone wrong with your eye surgery that you had? No.
No, my optometrist. So these are like these are the minimum reader glasses. They're 100 reader glasses. So like if I'm reading a book or something like this, I'm supposed to wear these while my while my eyes heal. And so I have them here by my desk for some reading while my eyes heal. Because they say it takes about 3 to 6 months for your eyes to like fully heal. Because you get oil in your eye behind the healing part, and it takes a long time for that oil to absorb from your eyes. Natural healing process. It's super exciting. I know it's the most boring thing. I have to put eye drops in my eye. That's all I'm at nowadays is just saline. And then I got these readers here in case I need to read a book. That's what my optometrist said. I should wear these readers if I'm trying to see stuff down here right by my hands up close. But it doesn't seem to change my vision at all. It's kind of just more hilarious to wear them like this. The Chuck Schumer style. You wear them like way down off the end of your nose like this. And
Who's
then be
Chuck
like,
Schumer?
he's the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the United States of America. Is he the Speaker of the House or is he he's the Senate. Is Chuck Schumer the Speaker of the Senate? Hold on, let me check.
I don't think
Schumer.
I couldn't even tell you who the Australian Speaker of the House was at the moment. G'day, Stephen P. Congrats on all
these
the
people are
bloody...
so crusty old, dude. These dudes are so old.
Stephen P, congrats on all the subs, man. You're going off at the moment, and that last video you did was mint. Loved it.
Stephen P, the 3000, 2003.
What is
He's
the
blowing up.
news?
Yeah,
He's doing
did a
gangster rap about fish.
wicked guppy rap the other day that I watched, and it was brilliant.
Did he drop an F-bomb in that?
multiple times? I think he even said motherfucker one time.
Oh my
Or
god.
Motherfucking.
Jones.
But he did the right thing. He made it adult content and warned everyone in the description that there was language.
Owning.
So, I mean,
Owning. Don't watch this
continually-
video. Go back to church.
I continually forget to put the age appropriate recommendations on my videos as well. But like we said earlier, it's not like I'm getting monetized anytime soon.
Yeah, who cares? Like,
Good day, T-Bane. How are you, mate?
It doesn't matter. He's the Senate Majority Leader. Is Chuck Schumer. He's the leader of the Senate. And he wears his glasses like this. He wears his glasses like this.
Totally.
I mean, he hangs them. That's a mess.
Is it? It's I probably.
They're all
shouldn't go there.
1,000 years old. They're all 1,000 years old.
Well, that's the problem with politics in most countries is that they're all bloody relics.
Yep.
Need
At
to
a
get
regular job, when you're like 65, they're like, you need to go and retire. You need
it's
to
time
not
to
be
go
here
and
now.
rest.
You're a liability. You're probably losing it. You're getting closer. It's time to retire. But, in politics, you can just run for president at 9,000 years old. And they're like, oh, okay. He's got stamina or meth. I'm not sure. Who knows? I'm not sure which it is. Get them all jacked up on that Hitler cocktail of like 9,000 different drugs and meth and cocaine and all sorts of crap. And then they're like, go out and give a crazy speech for 6 hours and
I've now that
sleep in their coffin.
Xanadu has raised an interesting point. I've been meaning to ask Scungy if she knows what "Let's Go Brandon" means.
Let's go, Brandon. Do you want me to explain it to you?
No, I was wondering if Scungy knew what it meant.
Okay.
No, nor do I. Yeah, we both don't know, so you better explain it to us. Just give us the brief version, though.
It's the absolute snowflake way to symbolize to throw out there that you are a fan of Donald Trump. Secret code for I'm a fan of Donald Trump. Because there was a NASCAR event where they raced cars around and the crowd was chanting, "Fuck Joe Biden." And all of the people listening and whatnot were like, they're saying, "Let's go, Brandon." And the announcer, because a guy named Brandon I don't know if he won the race. I think he won the race. And they were interviewing him and go like, they're cheering, "Let's go, Brandon." And it's like, no, they're not. So,
All right.
yeah, it's the absolute snowflakey way for people to be like, "I love Donald Trump." And they like post it on Facebook and stuff like, "Let's go, Brandon. I'm in the secret club." And it's like, okay, just admit you like Trump and just say fuck Joe Biden if you don't like him. It's simple, right?
Yeah. I've seen it all over bloody Twitter and Instagram the last week or so, and
Twitter,
I've
Gram, Facebook. That's how they
I've
say.
had absolutely no interest in clicking and learning what it's all about, because I knew it was some silly nonsense that I wanted to ignore. But now I know.
Which
I
is
couldn't
always like
ignore it forever.
It's always super weird that anybody likes Donald Trump. He literally is the epitome of somebody you should not like. He's a super rich kid, born into money with a spoon up his ass, who dodged the war, whose dad and him both got prosecuted by the Department of Justice for segregating their housing and discriminating against people in all the houses that his dad and all the housing that his dad owned in New York City, of all places. It's like, why anybody I ever see on a job site, it's like, Trump's thinking about the blue collar man, and you're like, that guy doesn't give one iota of thought for anybody with a blue collar, unless he could figure out how to make $5 off you and wander off. It's just nonsense. The guy's literally out there fundraising right now as we speak. Like, his big campaign right now is to donate $45 to him so that he'll run for president again in 3 years from now.
I think a lot of people just get lured by success, You know, they just see him as a successful dude, and if they appreciate and accept all of the
Right.
the way that he carries on and the way that he lives his life,
Well, they see
you
him
know,
as a
that's
successful dude
success.
because they see him as a successful dude because he was on mainstream media in a produced TV show where people competed to be his apprentice. And then he went, "You're fired." And he just like told him he told that old liberal Hollywood 1-4. He told that famous actor whose name I don't even know, "You're fired." And he fired him right out of there, man. And he had to fire him and tell him to go home. You know, and they did that for years and years and years. And it's like suddenly, like what he told Hollywood to fuck off, like he literally was cashing their check. Like The Apprentice was on like ABC, wasn't it, or NBC, or CBS? It was on one of the three big channels. The Apprentice was on what
Is
station?
Fred Trump Donald Trump's father?
He was on NBC. He was on NBC, the same channel that does Saturday Night Live, that does 30 Rockefeller, that does all of these, like, we make fun of all that, right? He literally was on NBC for 13 years. He was on NBC. He was where do you think he came from? He came from media. He came from what? Like, where do you think this guy's from? Like, where do you think he got his money? He was basically going broke until he got that TV show, and the TV show is what basically like kept him in the black from making money off that TV show from Hollywood, right? So, like, I just don't even understand why people would even. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why people give money to the church either, though. So what the hell do I know? You know, people are free to do whatever they want, but it's weird. It's very weird to me.
Buy a nice TV instead.
Yeah, just buy a TV and then watch whatever other crap. And eventually,
quality steaks once a week or something. You know.
Well, it's like, well, just
Crispy
buy
baked
another
potatoes.
TV. Just buy another TV. Watch some TV show, and eventually one of those actors will run for president, and you could vote for that one.
Solid. You got to plan ahead.
We'll just go through Ronald Reagan. You know, we'll just go through Ronald Reagan all over again. We'll just do it again. We'll just keep doing that. We'll just keep doing Ronald Reagan until this money train flies right off the tracks and hundreds of millions of people are just destitute and stuck. Yeah.
Geez, Derek, it has been a while since you've been here. Fish? What fish?
Yeah, you didn't even ask any fish questions. So what do you want me to do?
We only talk fish when provoked by the chat rooms.
That's right.
Although I did start working on some of my tanks foolishly the other day.
I think I pissed off Scungy. She left.
It's not too difficult to do at the moment. Trust me.
No. Okay, I will trust you. Am I a fan of Crystal and Sagar? I don't know. I mean,
are they both types of champagne?
No, they're sort of YouTube political pundits. I wouldn't say I'm like I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I've heard some of their stuff. I think it's really like most of the stuff that I've seen with them is pretty much just kind of really surface level analysis with not a whole lot of policy prescriptions like brought to the table, which I think ultimately is like the most important thing if somebody's claiming to be some kind of expert or critical analysis. And I think like an easy way to relate to that would be like, I don't understand why Jordan Peterson is very popular. Like literally all, I went through a lot of his writing and stuff because I wanted to really see what this guy's all about, because I have a lot of concerns about what that guy's all about. But all of his stuff is all just a descript. It's basically all just a description of what's wrong. He's just describing what's wrong. Your room is messy, so you should clean it up. And it's like, okay, I'm depressed. How do I do that? Just clean it up and you won't be depressed anymore. It's like, yeah, but I'm depressed, so I don't want to clean it up. How do I get over this depression that I got going on. Just clean
A
up
messy
your room.
room is a messy life.
Yeah. You know, and you're like, okay, well,
That's old military speak, I believe.
Yeah,
That's how they
exactly.
encourage
Just make your
the
bed.
soldiers to keep a tidy bed.
Yeah, make your bed, and then you won't be depressed anymore. And it's like, if I'm experiencing clinical depression, what do I do at this point? Just go make
Just
your bed, and you
fucking
won't be
make your
depressed
bed.
anymore. It's like the get up and go walk around. You know,
Hospital
for a
corners
jog, you won't be
equals
depressed.
happiness.
Well, it's like if I'm poor and I'm broke and I'm destitute and I'm under a bridge and I can't find a job, just pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
okay.
and get a job.
Okay.
G'day, MSG, Mystery Sale
Cool.
Gardens.
Stephen P says surface level is about as deep as I want to go. Yeah, understandable. I think like if I was to try and give somebody a good YouTube personality to follow with some of the stuff that's going on, like David Pakman would be like a really good place that you could tune in for probably a half an hour a day and get a really good kind of
Insight.
breakdown of some things that are going on. I think he does like a 45 minute to an hour long show a day, which if you just kind of tune in the next day, you can kind of fast forward through the stuff you don't really have like zero interest in. I think David Pakman does a good job. That's somebody I could recommend off the top of my head. Some more news is wildly entertaining and unbelievable content that they're putting together. Knowing Better is a good place to get into some like in-depth but readily accessible sort of moderate political stuff, but that's all like sort of essay driven, like longer content on specific topics, nothing really breaking news or anything like that, which is great. Stephen P says Jordan Peterson had to go to rehab himself, so maybe he got a taste of being helpless. He went to rehab after all of those prescriptive statements that he was making, and no one really knows exactly how long he was using drugs throughout that whole entire period. And we also don't know the length of his addiction or the depth of his addiction, because he claims he was just taking basically some, he was just taking some pills because his wife got sick and he got depressed over it, which...
So we don't actually know what he was
Exactly.
his addiction was treated for.
Right, which is exactly as insane as somebody saying, hey, are you depressed about your wife being sick? Just go make your bed. Oh, wait, the guy who dishes out that advice is just on drugs the whole time while dishing out that advice of just go make your bed, right? So his own advice didn't even work for himself. And it's a very hypocritical stance. And most of his stuff is all just wrapped up in this like culture war nonsense, and it is very creepy. It's very creepy to see a guy who was like this really edge case professor from Canada get shoved into the limelight, and then watch if you listen to some of his like long interviews, like he's done some couple hour interviews with actual journalists who are kind of just asking him questions and whatnot. Like realistically what he's about falls apart like a deck of cards because he's not used to being asked. He's used to just, I'm the professor. I come up here. I tell you stuff. You don't really ask me questions. You write a story about what I wrote, and then I'll grade the thing that you wrote, the paper that you wrote on what I told you about. And that's basically it. He's very high energy at the beginning of the interview, but it just begins to wear down over time with somebody who's diligently asking him questions about his own theology and ideology and what he believes in and whatnot. So it's, it's kind of one of those weird situations that a guy like that gets shoved into the limelight, gets millions of dollars, and then you immediately find out he's just been using drugs and doing all the things that he tells people not to do whilst making money. It's very weird. That guy pisses me off. I don't like him.
Jordan.
Yeah. Because he literally appeals to the thought process of the like 19-year-old who's like was once rejected by some girl, and so his life is just a disaster. And Jordan Peterson tells him, go jogging. And he does. And guess what? He feels better now. That was the answer this whole time. Jordan Peterson, you're a genius. Can I give you $84 for your book? You know,
predominantly that is the science behind being a social media personality, isn't it? Is finding your demographic and then just nailing the shit out of that demographic.
That's why I was like,
your results.
That's why I was like the 10 rules. What was it? What were his books like? The 10 rules of life, and then like his next book is like the other 10 rules of life. Yeah, what was his two books? The first one was the 12 Rules for Life.
12.
Yeah, I think it was like the 12 Rules for Life, and the one before that was Surrounded by Idiots. Oh no, that's Thomas Erickson. Sorry. The 12 Rules of Life.
That Surrounded by Idiots sounds like a fun read, though.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even read that title out loud. Yeah, what was his other book? I guess the 12 Rules for Life is the only thing that they want to promote at this point, because the other book was probably the other Rules of Life or whatever. Hold on, where's his books? Well, and why is this difficult to look up?
Maybe big internet is stepping in.
Big internet. My guess is that they're doing search engine optimization on the results, would be my guess. Where's his books?
That sounds way too convoluted instead of just big internet waving the heavy stick around.
Well, search engine optimization is a way to make sure that your search result is what comes to the top.
To what you actually want.
His first book was Maps of Meaning, the Architecture of Belief, 12 Rules of Life. And then the next book is Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life. Yeah, that's how ridiculous it is. The first book was 12 Rules of Life, an Antidote to Chaos. And then the next book 3 years later is Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life. So I guess 12 wasn't enough. And then it turns out that like 12 more is what's needed.
You can't cram the rules of life into some finite carton this large.
Acute Alcohol Intoxication and Cognitive Functioning by Jordan B. Peterson.
I thought that was one of the rules of life. Acute alcohol intoxication. Rule number 4.
Acute alcohol intoxication produces changes in the cognitive functioning of normal individuals. These changes appear similar prima facie to those exhibited by individuals who sustain prefrontal lobe damage during adulthood. In order to test the validity of this observation and to control for the confounding effects of expectancy, 72 male subjects were administered a battery of neuropsychological tests within the context of balanced placebo design. Each subject received one of 3 widely different doses of alcohol. Analysis of the results of the cognitive test battery demonstrated that a high dose of alcohol detrimentally affects a number of functions associated with the prefrontal and temporal lobes, including planning, verbal fluency, memory, and complex motor control. Expectancy does not appear to play a significant role in determining this effect. The implications of this pattern of impairment are analyzed and discussed. Wow. Groundbreaking, just a groundbreaking study that if you give a bunch of alcohol to somebody, their motor function is impaired. Really,
a little bit worse.
Man, that's just on the cutting edge, guys. That's on the cutting edge of like research, that if you give a bunch of alcohol to people, that like their motor function doesn't work that much. But like obviously it's the same as people who have received damage to their frontal their frontal lobe. They've received damage as an adult to their frontal lobe. So did the other people, like, did they hit them in the head with a bat until they had damage to their frontal lobe and then compare? Or what?
Potentially they would have used people that already had some form of damage.
But how do we measure the damage to the frontal lobe? Like, because we weren't there for the impact, generally speaking. Like, you'd have to be present to make sure it was like 793 pounds of force with a bat versus 1,200 pounds of force, right? Like, you'd have to know so you could actually compare and contrast.
Thank goodness most of my headbutt competitions were only as a teenager as well, and not as a full-grown adult. So
That's right. You could just be walking around punch drunk all the time, because they
Mhm.
didn't know about being punch drunk, from, I don't know, the 1890s. But hey, groundbreaking study there done with 72 subjects.
I reckon that the term punch drunk has been around longer than the knowledge about head injuries causing potential brain damage and stuff.
Let's check it out. Punch drunk.
I'm guessing like 1870s or something. That kind of
Origin.
term might have come around.
Expression punch drunk comes from boxing, according to a dictionary of slang, an unconventional English, 8th edition. Let's see if we can't. So it has to be around boxing. So it has to be like when boxing was around, because
Boxing's been around a long time.
well, the act of punching people has been around a long time, but the sport of boxing, I think, is what it's around. The earliest published reference for punch drunk in the Oxford English Dictionary comes from a 1912 issue of a Wisconsin newspaper in the Sheboygan Press. Punch drunk through the first round and floundering around like a great helpless calf, his mouth and nose shedding blood in a thick stream. Wow. That is just newspaper reporting from 1912, dude.
What was the adverb or adjective that they used in front of cat?
Cat? Calf, like a helpless calf.
A helpless calf.
Like a baby cow. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that weird, but yeah.
No, I just heard cat. No.
It seems like the first printed is 1912, so obviously before that, but probably not too long.
Yeah.
Because I think it becomes it was apparently associated with boxing, and I don't know how long the sport of boxing has been around.
A long time. I would at least 200 years. I reckon boxing, fist fighting would have been around in the
Okay, here we go. The earliest evidence of boxing dates back to Egypt around 3000 BC. So it's been around forever.
Yeah.
But we're talking about some organized boxing from 16th and 18th century prize fights, largely in Great Britain, the forerunner of modern boxing, with 1867. Modern day boxing sort of started around the 1870s, I guess, right around there.
I reckon even 3000 years BC with the old Egyptian boxing, they were standing in a circle and there was people betting shekels or whatever they had.
It was prize fighting before then, which I think is more just wild flailing, wrestling, all sorts of other stuff. A straight right demonstrated in Edmund Prince's The Science of Defense, a treatise on sparring and wrestling. Yeah, so it seems that the straight punch was introduced as a tactic in 1867, and then 1882 found that bare knuckle fighting became like a ring event with just punchies. Because I think before that you could just kick somebody in the leg.
Free for all.
Yeah,
just melee madness.
Yeah, just do whatever you can to not be murdered by the guy punching you to half to death, right? I don't
know. Hi, but I went to do some washing, but I'm gonna go.
What's that?
I think I'm gonna go.
Oh.
Righto, Spongy.
Well.
It's a shame you couldn't have been here to do the stream today. That would have been glorious.
It would have been like this, except I wouldn't have got my washing done.
Fair enough.
Actually, you probably would have seen me less too, because I would have been off the screen.
Zipping in and out, getting stuff done. Because isn't the time over there all weird? What time is it?
It's almost 3
p.m.
I don't know if that's weird or normal.
No, it's still
Well-
we changed our daylight saving hour 3 weeks ago, I think,
Oh, okay.
and then you guys changed this weekend coming, yeah. So it'll be a little bit weirder for us. It'll be later in the afternoon for us to kick off.
Yeah. Though it's going to be a really hard time for me.
Oh no.
Just like that point in the afternoon, because it's so close to that end of school time. Yeah.
Good point. But it goes backwards though. We go backwards one.
Yeah, that means we go forward one. We're on the other side of the planet. That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't go forward again. You already did though, right?
No, but you do. It still means an hour difference to us.
If we go backwards one,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Well, then that would work because that would take it
my-
back
my-
to
my
midday
brain-
for us, which is good. I like
my
it.
brain can't handle it right now. I don't know. Is that because we go earlier an hour? It would still be earlier an hour for you, right?
No, you going earlier an hour makes it 1 hour later for us for some reason.
Oh man, we're like living in the fucking Twilight Zone. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
I just remember from the last 3 years of doing these live streams that there's this period in the year, which we just happen to be bang smack in the middle of at the moment, that I go from 12 o'clock start time to 1 o'clock start time, then to 2 o'clock start time.
Oh,
And then it, wait 6 months and then it goes back to 12 o'clock, which is
Okay,
it's kind of sensible. I mean, it works for me because then I'm not starting to drink at midday and being maggot before the sun's even set. So I kind of
just half in the
don't,
bag.
I don't mind the when it starts a little bit later, so it starts
See,
more closely to my normal starting of drinking time.
I'd rather have a couple of drinks around lunchtime and then be good by the time the afternoon comes and I've got to, get back to working.
Well, we
With the
might have to
children.
start a separate stream where we start early on a different day of the week and do some day drinking and get maggot before 4 o'clock, and then settle into the evening.
Ass over tea kettle, man.
Indeed, all the way over.
Not for me. I just
Anyway,
want to I just teeter on the edge. I don't want to go all the way.
Yeah, don't go over the edge. It's too much. It's too much. You'll
I mean,
end up having to go into meetings like me, and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm an alcoholic. I'm still good. It's fine. Fuck you. All right, Steve. Fucking looking at me, and you'll be at a meeting like that.
Yeah, don't give me the side eye, Steve.
Yeah,
I'm
quit
doing
giving
my
me the
best,
side eye,
Steve.
fucking Steve guy. And he's like, "My name's Jared." I'm like, fuck you. Your name's Steve.
Steve.
Yeah. Just be out cussing people out at a supposedly helpful meeting, which is helpful.
You're Steve, and you're Steve, and you're Steve too. Fuck all y'all.
Everyone's Steve. I'm out. Gotta go. I'm out here having these sips of water.
I've also got
Right.
a sack full of magic mushrooms in my fridge. I probably should eat some of them for a live stream. That'd be good fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just don't actively eat them on the camera. Just so you know.
Why?
That is against the rules.
Ah, bloody rules.
That's a terms of service violation. Now, if you happen to have accidentally ingested some kind of mushroom whilst wandering about, I think is fine, but you just can't actively do said thing on the internet thing that we're on here. I think.
I'll edit that bit out later that I
Right.
said that I would eat some on live.
You could just say you were eating a sandwich, if anybody really questioned you, and then you were just acting.
But how amazing is it that high quality drugs grow so close to where you piss out in the back paddock?
By the cow poops?
Yeah,
In from the cow poops.
7 or 8 meters from where I sleep at night, I've got magic mushrooms growing, and then you walk another 30 or 40 meters and you find another 7 or 8 or 9 or 24. It's a great time of year at this time of year when we've got nice warm days and a bit of rain and then some nice warm days. They're all over the place.
I could imagine.
Ah, that's a good idea,
Right.
Vince. And good day, Vince, by the way. Welcome. Mix them into your salad, says Vince. YouTube will be none the wiser.
Just over there chewing on some spinach and eucalyptus.
Spinach and champignon. We grow our champignon a bit big down here.
Some fine vinaigrette. It's a vinaigrette. It's a light vinaigrette.
As long as it's not balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, it's kind of true, isn't it? You really got to be in the mood for the balsamic, you know?
Really, really focused and pinholed into the balsamic mood.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's hideous. Why does it taste so worse than all the other vinegars, but people love it so much?
It's, I don't...
You got a
I don't
theory,
know.
Scungy?
I've never really gotten it because, like, most black viscous liquid food item I love. You know what I mean? Whether it be like the omega stuff. Oh, there goes the scunch. Oh no, she left us.
It's because
kinda
I
moved.
asked her a question and she didn't get a chance to answer it. She cracked the
Was she mad?
dirts.
Did I make her mad again? I feel like I make her mad every week. Kind of an
I think
annoying cunt.
she just
Huh?
likes to say words once in a while, and I think maybe she feels like she's not getting words in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I've tried to exercise this thing where when she talks, I try and stop talking just to give her some airtime.
Some space. It's probably good.
Yeah, maybe we both need to just exercise that and let her speak and then try and encourage her to go on some mad rant or something. That'd be fun to see. I would love to see a good old Scungy rant about something other than me for a change.
It's a good point. We should probably do that, I guess.
Yeah, originally we were planning to do the live stream with both of us here today because I had my sister come and take the elders away, so I have no elder responsibility today.
Mm-hmm.
So she was going to come here and we were going to do the stream from here, maybe play some music, fool around a bit, get pretty pissed, have a good afternoon sort of thing. But, you know, things went sideways, I guess.
Didn't work out.
It's been an interesting week.
How's the overlording governmental oppression down there these days?
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
It's funny. I assume you're referring to the that Joe Rogan stuff that went on.
Oh, that was funny as hell because like Joe Rogan's been going on this like wild rant about like how CNN said he took horse medicine, right? Which they did. I'll admit it. There is some problems with how they reported on it, but also if you listen to the whole clip, it tells you at the beginning and the end. There's disclaimers where, you know, so I'm kind of in the middle. But also, whatever, right, is what I think of it. But this guy has gone on this whole tirade about how like CNN tried to get me, you know, and it's like, you have $200 million in the bank. How are they trying to get you? Oh no, you've been gotten. Oh, you self-admitted that you took a bunch of like non-recommended medications because you caught COVID, which you've been going around telling people is like not a big deal for all this time, right? And then, you know, you make this, have this big hissy fit about how like CNN did all this stuff to you. And then a guy who's a self-appointed comedian doesn't even realize that he's watching a comedy sketch like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then goes on this tirade about how Australia's oh my god, they're Nazis now or something. I don't know. You know, and you're like,
"G'day, Ali." Yeah, I think he just went into
what a triggered snowflake
mode.
Baby. What a baby.
He
what a
went
child's brain response.
Defensive mode because they mentioned his name in the sketch,
right?
And he's thinking that the Australian government is using his name in this propaganda until
Right.
someone obviously called him out that it was a
Said, hey, that's a
just a
sketch
sketch.
comedy TV show, you fucking uneducated turd. You fucking trash human. God damn
it
it.
is a sketch comic focused on advertising.
Right.
And it is a fantastic show for highlighting the evils and the nastiness that advertisers involve. And it is really good at diving in depth into the processes and whatnot that advertisers use to
Right.
motivate people to spend. It's a
Right.
very intelligent program, and a lot of the people that they have on each week to do these competitions produce high quality, very, very interesting and very funny stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I think he realized, I imagine that someone on the social media had to point it out to him
Right.
that wasn't an actual government video. It was a comedy sketch before he got, because I imagine that because they mentioned his
he
name
posted
in that
he posted
video,
a retraction. He posted a retraction like 12 hours later or something.
Yeah,
It was like,
well, an
oh,
edit to
I
it.
apologize. I didn't realize it was a sketch comedy show because I don't know how to recognize, like, I don't know, TV people from a country that I claim to love and have gone to and want to visit to. I want to go back to Australia, and Australia is where I would live. If I was Joe Rogan, I would move to Australia because, but like all my friends live in California. So I moved to Texas while I, talk about all this nonsense that I just lie about on a regular basis because I'm a lying grifter who wants to get money from my podcast. Yeah.
But yeah,
get
my
outta
firm
here.
belief is that he just went into defensive mode because they mentioned his name in the
Yeah.
sketch.
Oh yeah.
Before he
I mean,
before he
it's
had an objective look at it.
yeah, it's the immediate response that somebody would have that like who claims to see. And now here's the thing: like, I normally wouldn't get that hard on somebody if somebody made a sketch about somebody and they were offended by it, right? I'd be like, that sucks. Yeah, man, that really actually kind of does suck that they made fun of you a little bit. But Joe Rogan has specifically been on rant after rant after rant after rant defending comedians and that it's just jokes, guys. It's just jokes, guys. I'm just making fun of transgender people. It's just jokes, guys. It's just jokes. You guys just don't get comedy. You don't get comedy. Nobody gets comedy anymore. He's been on rant after rant after rant after rant after rant defending that. Somebody makes a sketch about him that's literally a comedy show, and that's his response. That's his knee-jerk, immediate, like baby snowflake response to somebody making fun of him.
I have a strange feeling that we'll see a few different responses from him over the next few days, exactly addressing that kind of thing.
Oh, I'm sure. Hey, I was taken by the media. And that's why the moon landing's fake. How do we know that the Earth is round? I'm wearing a spacesuit and I'm on LSD. Okay, well, good times.
Blacky and Brup. G'day, Jimmy P. How are you, mate? I've got to go and do a quick wee. Can you
he's gotta leave. He's gotta leave.
Read your tour dates or something? Whatever.
My tour dates. Yeah, I'll be at Madison Square Garden farting into a microphone. Just a hot fart right into a microphone. I don't have any tour dates, but Dee Dee says, when did people get as soft as cotton so quickly? I don't know, but Joe Rogan claims to be as hard as a stone and just comedy genius himself and everything, and yet this is his response to somebody making well, the reality is like that sketch was more about just all of the people questioning science, except for all these other chances where you just immediately don't even question science at all, like the fact you start your car up and drive it around. Like, that's a good example of, do you trust the science of the motor in your car and the gasoline that you bought from the store? But I don't know when I don't know when people that are self-proclaimed like that. Like, I think if somebody made a sketch about me that was funny, I would probably just laugh at it and be like, damn it, that was good. And if I guess maybe I did mention some more news earlier today. Some more news did a great job of kind of breaking down the premise of the fact that there are no conservative comedians anymore, and like why there are no more conservative comedians. It's like an hour-long show. I just listened to it. I didn't get to see any of the screen stuff because I was breaking walls with a hammer today. So I just listened to it. I thought it was fairly insightful of the mechanism currently. And I think that there's a lot of kind of good analysis on like where comedy has gone, and just the people who are sort of like at the top of the heap right now. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Doesn't Joe Rogan compare himself to a hairless ape or something like that? He does when he's acting self-deprecating, but more often than not, his actions normally don't follow up those brief instances of self-deprecation. I just don't see it realistically, but I mean, I guess it takes a long time to sort of get through the layers of the sort of like layers of the grift. Like how many times on that show you'd hear Joe Rogan talk about like, oh, I'm like a really liberal guy. Like I'm a super liberal guy, but he's like best good friends with Ben Shapiro. Like what? And then if you've noticed a few of the sound bites when people question him on Ben Shapiro, they go, but he's like a super awesome guy when he's not on his show, which almost gives you some insight into like Joe Rogan's actual thought process, is that he more often than not is in on the grift, right? Like his opinion is that Ben Shapiro, for instance, is like a super cool dude when he's not on air, which means that might mean that guy's acting all of the time and Joe Rogan's in on the act and not calling out the act, but he's just saying that he's a super cool dude. So I don't know. After foot two surgeries, I took the pain pills for 1 day following surgery. I would take a pill, look at husband, and tell him I would see him in a couple of hours and be knocked out for 3 hours. Yeah, the last surgeries I've gotten, I didn't take pain pills at all. I just took Tylenol. Tylenol and Aleve, which might not be the greatest combination, but I ain't taking those pain pills. I'm not going down that road again, ever. Well, as long as I can handle it. Today. I can do today. That's all I got to do is just focus on today. And I'm going to keep doing that for as long as I can. I would say that 90% of the frivolous lawsuits here would probably end up with the person being sued held in contempt of court because of stupidity in Jamaica. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know the constitution in Jamaica. I don't know the courts in Jamaica. I couldn't really ascribe really anything that goes on in Jamaica. I know that a lot of the lawsuits in the United States are kind of applied to where somebody sees some wrongdoing, and then with the cost of lawyers nowadays, you just end up with some kind of settlement thing happening. Because you could sue somebody for something and be like, I want $50,000. But it's going to cost the person being sued like $30,000 in lawyer fees to defend themselves. Or they could give the guy $9,000 check just to go away and sign this paperwork that says I'm not going to ever sue you again. That's what a lot of the lawsuits in the U.S. boil down to these days. Unless they're like giant class action lawsuits or something like that. But yeah. Xanadu. I didn't need to pass hurt down. Yeah. Oh, are you guys talking about the I would say people have always been soft as cotton. We just bottled it up before and took it out on our kids later. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of that. I actually shared something about that on the Discord a little while ago. Is that sort of intergenerational sort of negativity having being passed down generation to generation. And I've personally kind of addressed that in my family, from my great grandfather to my grandfather to my dad to me. Which is one of the reasons I had kids much later in life. Self-appointed to. I never felt like I could have had kids. I never felt like I could have been a good father until after having been sober for a couple of years and really like kind of boiled down and dealt with a lot of that stuff that happened. And a lot of the stuff that I was carrying around that was just sort of passed on to me, maybe inadvertently. I don't even know if it was on purpose. I don't necessarily think it was an active thing. But after a couple of years of being sober, Vicky and I, we just, it just felt like the right time. And Olivia has been an amazing blessing to our life. And I literally I try to remind myself every day to be the best dad that I can, because that's what's going to matter for her moving forward. That just trying to be engaged, try to focus in, try to pay attention when I'm with her, that I'm just keep trying to do the best that I can. And I really hope that passes on to the next generation to a healthier, at least one person, hopefully, that's healthier in the next generation. I mean, that's my hope. But you just really can just kind of try your best. And I don't know what happened to Blacky. He just left. I don't know. He even muted his mic. He's probably just out there doing something. Alley Cat says that's all we can do. Try our best. Yeah, I fully ascribe to that. I just try to do the best that I can, and be present daily and do the best I can on a day-to-day basis. So I don't expect more out of other people. That's what I expect out of myself. That's what I expect out of other people. And oftentimes people are struggling and having a hard time, and I try to just be open to try to be open as I can to address that and try to stay in the pocket. I feel like I kind of pissed off Scungy today, and I feel like I'd apologize to her if I had her email, but I don't have her email or something. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I might have stepped on her toes or something.
You can probably find her through my Facebook or Instagram, but I think she's just Scunge Princess at bloody Hotmail or Gmail or one of those ones. I suppose I don't know because I don't email her on the regular.
It's a good point.
Vince says I went to eat a mushroom salad. No, sorry, Vince. I had my one of my younger sons just popped in for a visit and had some unfortunate stuff to share with me, so we had to have a little bit of a talk. So I apologize for my absence. I'm sure Corvus kept you adequately entertained.
I think you just left. I was like, well, I got to go to bed soon, so I don't know what's going to happen when it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah, well, initially
muted screen.
Initially, I had to go and wee and make a new drink, but then when I went into my room to go through to the bathroom, then I discovered my son was there needing to have a conversation. So that's what we did. So I apologize for that, people. But you're okay. Oh, look out. Let's bring a bit of this into the action and see where we go.
Oh my God.
Z-Bang, you're muted. You're muted, mate.
Being silently muted.
Know. He probably just let out the most amazing note as well when he said hello. You unmuted yourself and then you muted yourself again.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Now it works.
Hello.
How the bloody hell are you, mate? No, I
Huh?
think Z-Bane might be struggling with the old interwebs. What's going on, Joshua? Hello, Josh.
He's escaped. He escaped. He's
Best
stuck.
show ever. Oh, here he is. Is he back?
Yeah,
No, he's back.
I'm back. Hello.
There he is. Here he is. G'day, mate.
How are you guys?
What's going
Well,
on?
you know, we're okay.
Having a lovely Tuesday still.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What's happening with you?
Oh, I drank the house dry last night.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Couple of Red Bulls in the morning. Yep.
Breakfast
Going
of
all right.
champions.
Yep. Absolutely.
Man, he's having a go of it.
What was the occasion? Was there an occasion, or were you just on a tear?
The occasion was Emma had finished all her preliminary work stuff, so we were like, okay, we got some time up our
Few
sleeve
days
to
at least.
hang out and have a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did I get more subscribers? What the fuck happened? God damn it.
Yeah, how did I not get any new ones with this level of
don't
awesome excitement that we're providing people?
Oh, levels of excitement.
Oh, that's why.
So are you in fact saying, Z-Beam, that you've only just very recently woken from your slumber?
Sleep is for the weak.
Sleep? What does that taste like?
Yeah, I don't know what sleep is. I can go for days. No amphetamines. It's just natural, pure Josh energy for days.
So have we caught you in one of those moments? Are we right in the middle of one of those 72-hour periods of consciousness?
Yeah. I got empowered by it set me off yesterday night. I heard the koalas rooting, and it was glorious to hear them mating.
It's a splendid song to behold.
Oh yeah. The male grunting combined with the woman koala giving her squeals and the baby freaking out because her mama's
Getting
making all
raped.
these noises. Yeah.
Koala society is such a big rape culture.
Yeah.
You know.
I
Forget
I've
about
got-
professional footballers. Koalas
Yeah.
is where it's at.
I've got a good torch game. Like I spotted them the other day. The baby looked at my beefy torch and the eye shine. I could see its green eyes. So I spotted them the other night. But I don't have a good microphone game. So what I really need to do is work on my microphone game so I can record the sounds that they make, because I think that's something that people all around the world really need to experience, is the sound of the guttural fucking yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
demonic
you
You need a
growl.
shotgun mic.
from the females. It's like
Yeah,
this
heavy
combination
metal
of
all
sounds
over
that's
it.
ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, well, like,
Yeah.
maybe you just need to get yourself some Wi-Fi external video cameras that pick up sounds as well, and motion sensors and stuff.
Yeah,
I got one, but
microphone
it's not
text.
outdoor.
Yeah, microphone text really particular. Like it's all designed to pick up vocals from a certain distance to the microphone.
Mid-range stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like the zone of good optimal pickups is really, really short. Like I don't know if there's any good microphones that you can just have and get sounds from 40 feet away, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can
you
get
need a
one so
shotgun mic.
you point at them. Yeah, a shotgun mic.
Okay.
You point it at your
Shotgun
swords.
mic. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a directional mic that's like a long tube. Called
Yeah.
a shotgun mic. And then you point that at where you're trying to get the sound from, and it'll pick it
Right.
up. You just point it at
Okay.
it like a gun. That's why it's called, you know.
And yeah, headphones
Fuck
are
yeah.
advisable so you can actually pick up whether you're
Sorry.
pointing at the right sound and whatnot.
Yeah, if you got it right. If it's really far away, you need to get the listening dish on the back of it. You know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember a good old
Yeah.
shotgun mic that looked
Yeah.
like a satellite from space.
Yeah, and then you can be out in the bushes listening to people out there talking. Get their conversation
their-
from far away.
Getting
Super
their
shy.
lyrebird on.
That's right.
Do you know about lyrebirds, Corvus?
I do.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's not go there. Vitra, hello. How are you? Just as long as you know
Lyrebird-
about them. They're bloody
Lyrebirds are the
impressive.
boxes of the animal planet. I
Big
really,
time.
I really would love to see someone have a troop of lyrebirds and train them to do,
Some beatboxing.
beatboxing. And
Yeah,
know-
you've been on a bit of a beatboxing bent in the last few days, haven't you?
oh, absolutely, I've just dived headfirst into the world of beatboxing, and I'm so impressed. Like, these guys can just make fresh tunes out of nowhere. And I
Those,
know
the videos that you shared with me, did you share them with Corvus as well?
no, I didn't. No,
No, right.
sorry, Corvus. Sorry, Brup Smellerton.
You got to send them to me, man.
Okay. I'll send you the links. Yeah.
Yeah, some pretty
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, Brupp Smellerton wears his shades, baby.
Oh fuck! Where's my shades? You make me
We can
feel
all do this.
shady. Oh, shade time.
Yeah,
Shady
these ones are
time.
polarized, so I hardly even know what's going on anymore.
Shady time.
I always make sure I get polarized lenses, just
Oh, yeah.
just in case I need to check glass if I can drill it or not.
The vibes are ripening.
Oh, Beast
I need some
makes me want to
shades.
take
I
my
need-
hair
man,
out as well.
I need some shades that are less dark. These ones are powered. These ones are power dark, man. You could get hit with the straight up beam in the eye and be all right still. Hey, I had a question. And
Yeah.
I know I could have just looked it up on the internet, but we're preparing ourselves here in the north for the seasonal affective depression. It's coming. Okay. Do you guys get these super short daylight periods during the winter?
Not super short. I think we get down to about 7 hours and 34 minutes, I think, is our shortest day, somewhere around there.
Of
Yeah.
daylight? That's still
That's
pretty short.
where we are.
Okay. That's still pretty
No,
short though.
It might not even be that low. No,
Well, it's like two-thirds darkness, right?
yeah, I think it gets a little bit around very close to the 8 hour mark, but maybe not down into where I said.
Yeah, maybe 8 hours or something like that. Okay. Yeah, we're getting ready for that here as soon as that clock turns back. Boy.
So to
It's
cure
going to be a
the-
thing. It's going to be a thing where I show up to work and it's dark out, and then I work,
Right.
and then on the way home, it's just pitch black out again. It's just fucking the whole time I'm working. It's just like the only time that there'll be light out, and then I'm just dark whenever I'm home.
Okay. So this is what cures my lack of light depression. Is this beastly chode motherfucker right here? And seriously, boom,
You get that
Jesus.
beam on?
14,000 lumens.
Jesus. You could start a fire with that shit if you pointed
Yeah,
it
it's got a
close.
proximity sensor. Look, it dims itself when it gets too close.
Wow.
So
Having
it doesn't start
torches
a
come
fire.
a long way.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
so it doesn't start a fire.
Yeah.
Does
And
it
it
have
gets
like?
hot.
Does it have
Fucking gets
arson?
hot.
Does it have arson mode? So you switch off that sensor and you can start fires with it.
Nah, but it's got a, like, I got the full floodlight, and then I can switch it to a tight beam. So, bang. And that goes 800 meters.
Wow.
Then it's flood mode, tight beam.
I strongly suggest that you send the company a letter about enabling an arson mode.
Yeah, we need the
Yeah.
arson mode for
Yeah.
burning stuff.
You
For
know,
burning. Yeah.
someone's got
It
to.
comes,
Someone's got to
in a
get the.
gun case. Like, it's a
Jesus.
fucking weapon.
It's legit. It's like the
How
only
did it-
gun that you can buy in Australia.
Yeah, how did it even make it into the country?
China, thank you very much.
It's like it should be a registered firearm, a lot like that.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my god. thing's
Dongguang
out of control.
Olight e-commerce technology. USA customer support, global customer support. Yeah, Dongguan. Thank you, Olight, for brightening up my world. But yeah, I can fucking turn that on at night and just illuminate everything in the garden. Just floodlight the whole garden. It's epic. Dial it down, like don't have it on full turbo, stick it on the fence and just light up the trees. It's just awesome.
Oh,
It's so good to have the power of true light in your hands.
Power of true light.
just shine that thing straight up where the sun never shines. Next thing you
Fucking
know,
A.
just pure
I'm
joy.
eagerly anticipating this trilogy of science fiction movies that are coming out that are based around who holds the best torches, the best
Who holds-
flashlights will win the power.
Yeah.
No, we've all got the same batteries, Alyssa. Double A's, triple A's, C's, D's. They're all fairly standard around the globe.
Hey,
I'm using
you know what battery I had to go find the other day? Check this out. It was an A23.
A23.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one. I use
Yeah, well,
That one of the
A650s.
little
welcome
tiny
to
round ones.
No, it was like this. It was like this little
Oh,
battery
it's a little
battery.
a 6-volt one.
I think it was 4.5. I think I'm not sure. It went to a doorbell that was
Today.
like a remote controlled doorbell thing. It was so weird. But the weird thing is, I looked it up on the hardware store, and they were like, "We've got 3 of them at the gigantic monolithic hardware store." And so I sent Vicky over there, and she came back with one, and I was like, "What the fuck? I've never even seen that battery before today." So
Nice.
yeah, every once in a while you learn something. Like, I guess there's an extra weird battery somewhere in that cavern of a hardware store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of my shit runs on
Quad A
18650
batteries.
lithiums.
What's a quad A battery?
18650 lithium batteries are the goods.
Quadruple A battery. Okay. They're a 1.5 volt. All right.
All the A's are 1.5.
I think the 6 volt. I think the 6 volt battery is the 123. I think is the 6 volt one.
Well, it used to be used a bit in cameras and stuff, didn't it? Back in the day.
Yeah, that 123 battery. Those were always like a big pain in the butt because, like, if you went to a store that had them, they always had like one, and you're like, I can't just buy one of these batteries. It's gonna die, and then my camera's gonna be dead again. Like, I gotta get more than one, and then you go to another store and get another one. But now I guess there's just Amazon where you just order 9,000 of that battery, and they show up and they just be like, yeah, we bulldozed a town in Africa somewhere and stole all of their precious metals.
Lithium.
Here you go. Have 1 billion batteries. We brought it to your door. Lazy.
Well, that was always the problem with those 6-volt cell batteries was that they didn't have a very long life.
No, they didn't last. They didn't last at all. And like
ripped.
Energizer came out with this like version of it that was like it was like metallic silver and like had blue lightning on it, like
sky blue. Yeah, we got them.
and you're like,
down
oh,
here too.
dude, it's gonna last way longer. Look at it; it's got fucking racing stripes on it, and it lasts 5 minutes.
This motherfucker's at 18650.
Yeah, I got loads of those.
There. You don't fuck about with non-rechargeable batteries, guys. Like, it's just a waste of time.
I got
it's
an
bad for the
18650 charger right here.
Yeah, nice.
I've got loads of those batteries. All my gimbals run on those batteries.
Yeah.
They need to.
And the wife uses a 21700 for her vape, so there's that one. Yeah.
It's a bit much. Much.
Oh, she's running on a single cell, whereas I'm running dual 18650s.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine outlasts hers, but yeah.
Yeah,
She
for
didn't
sure.
want
Because
something as
you're not gonna
chunky.
get that drop like off the single cell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
All right, it's my bedtime, boys. I love you. Stay
DD's
good.
Night,
going to bed as
Corvus.
well.
I mean,
See you
Or should I
stay
say
good or stay
Corvus.
bad or whatever. I mean, I don't know. You know,
See you later,
Brup-
Smellerton.
Brup Smellerton out.
Peace
See you
out,
next
Bummy.
time.
Hey.
Oh, now it seems only fitting that I should bloody let my hair back out and put my sunglasses back on. Jesus. What else has been going on?
I found a cracker of a series the other night. Randomly at 3 a.m. in the morning, Fox 8 decided to put through Mike Judge Presents. And this guy's Mike Judge, do you know who he is?
He was the King of the Hill guy, yeah? And Beavis
Exactly.
and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead. Yep. So he's got this animated, animated, and then cuts the real footage expose of country and western musicians. And the first episode talks all about, it starts off with a preamble of him talking about how the gangster rappers that he liked were copying a heap of flack because of their supposedly violent lyrics and whatever, but they're just show ponies talking shit. And he knew from growing up in Texas that there were some really dark and nasty realities behind some of these country and western singers who are quite flagrant in their telling of how badass they were.
Yeah, and potentially more true to life than the gangster rappers.
Way more true to life. And so the first episode dealt with an artist called Johnny Paycheck.
Johnny Paycheck.
And Johnny Paycheck wrote the song "Take This Job and Shove It, I'm Not Working Here No More."
Yeah, I know that song. I don't
You
know
know
the
that
Johnny
song?
Paycheck version, but I've heard many
He
different
created
versions
it.
of it.
He created it. He was the man who started it. And hearing his life story told by all his friends that have outlived him and all their banter, their animated banter of them talking shit about their old friend, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
What was it called?
Mike Judge Presents, I think. I'll fucking boot up the TV and find out for you.
What platform was it on?
Oh, it's Foxtel. And then the second episode, Mike Judge Presents Tales from the Tour. So Johnny Paycheck was the first episode, and then they released the second episode straight after it about Jerry Lee Lewis, who was the goodness gracious Great Balls of Fire guy. And
Jerry Lee
holy
Lewis.
shit. Yeah, holy shit. He was a madman.
Yeah, he married a 14-year-old girl.
13-year-old second
13,
cousin.
was it? Oh,
Second cousin.
that makes it so much worse, doesn't it?
Oh my God. He was an absolute animal. And the shit he got up to. Like, how much drugs, like prescription pills you want to pop? He was just off his tits.
And it was back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
Who knows even what was in them more so than these days.
Yeah, so if you can find a torrent of this Mike Judge Presents show, I highly recommend it.
Well, it does stream on YouTube, I have discovered, but it might be one of those things where you watch a couple of episodes and then YouTube suggests that you might want to pay for the next one or two.
Okay. It's well worth watching because these country and western artists were like legitimately fucking hardcore.
Yeah, they were outlaws, man.
Total.
They had an image to uphold.
Yeah.
What are you drinking there? What's that called?
A naked life yuzu sake non-alcoholic cocktail.
Sounds like a waste of time.
Tastes great,
All right.
but yeah, it is a waste of time.
I just think that the words non-alcoholic and cocktail shouldn't go in the same sentence.
Yeah, but seriously, it's really good. Like, it's the best canned beverage that I've ever drank.
Oh, that's a big wrap. That's a very big wrap.
Yeah, they've put a lot of effort in there, and the yuzu is really strong. Like, yuzu is an expensive ingredient. I think it's about $80 a liter.
What's the ingredient?
Yuzu, a Japanese citrus.
Ah, right. All right.
Mm-hmm. Very tasty.
Skipper's Aquarium coming in saying, "Damn, still going." Have you been here before, Skipper? Hey, Jesus, it's only 2.5 hours, mate. If we have enough beverages, we got at least 4.5, 5 in us, but probably not today.
Not today, no. I'll be signing off soon. But yeah, seriously, check out Mike Judge Presents Tales from the Tour. Hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
I have it opened on a tab to check out ASAP.
Yeah, nice. What was the other thing I found last night was DJ Premier. What was the series called? Something about Ode to the Floppy Disk or something. Like he was using
the floppy disk.
Like the floppy disk with the slidey part on the top in the MPC machines.
3 1/4.
Yeah, and he did the full reveal about Limp Bizkit and how Fred Durst approached him to help him with the track, and god damn, there's a lot of history. Like, so many people just poo-poo Limp Bizkit and say it's shit, but really a lot of effort, work, and history went into making Limp Bizkit what it was. And it was such a phenomenon, and then it burnt brightly and then just disappeared. And, Fred's back, did Lollapalooza this year. It was pretty epic. But
It's
DJ
almost like
Premier,
they're back bigger than ever.
yeah, DJ Premier is a fucking legend. And you can just see him holding these floppy disks that fit into the MPCs with, like, scrawled on the, like, titles. And he's holding the raw form of the pure majesty of the song in his hands, and you're like, wow, that is the song that then ended up on everyone's CDs and shit. It came off that floppy disk. He's got it in his collection. That man holds in his hands so much power for the future, all on some floppies.
I always found it weird when they went from 5 1/4 discs to the 3.5 discs that were quite a rigid structure, that they still called them floppy discs.
Yeah, they were rigid. Yeah, the 3.5. That's what he's using with the MPCs. It's because inside the casing there is a floppy disk. But yeah,
I do understand the mechanics of it. I'm just saying that it's quite funny that the 5 1/4 you could actually wiggle about in the air.
Wiggle. Yeah.
Whereas, a 3 1/4, you'd have to smash it against a wall before you'd appreciate the floppy aspects of it.
Yeah.
What else is going on besides koalas and snakes and all the good stuff that we expect at this time of year?
Oh, a beetle tried to root my finger last night.
Oh, yeah.
I saved him off the fly screen. Wouldn't let go of my finger. I tried to fucking get him onto a tree and wouldn't get off my finger. Tried to put him on a plant, and he's like hanging on for dear life. And I look at the fucker, and his fucking dick
Got
is
his bits out.
hanging out of the back end and fucking trying to root underneath my fingernail. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
You must have the right pheromones, man.
Oh, man.
We're talking
Like-
the brown November beetles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've certainly started coming, haven't they?
Yeah.
Saw my first one about a week ago. Now I'm getting like 2 or 3 a morning on the concrete.
They get themselves into mischief and fucking just die.
It's such a limited life, isn't it? They spend between 5 and 7 years in the ground as a grub, and then they emerge as an adult insect, and they might get 1 or 2 days as an adult to go and do their rumpty, spread their seed, and if they don't, see you next time, or
Off
not.
you go. Yeah. Poor guy was desperate. Thought my fingernail was a Sheila. No, not having that.
He'd clearly missed out for the night
Yeah.
and knew his time was nigh.
Yeah.
Get it off where he can. Get it off.
How's your fish going?
Two Doug says, "Get off me, bro," or alternatively, "Get off on me, bro."
How's the fish going?
My fish are in a state of change at the moment because I've removed all of my cichlids bar my big white Oscar, who might be close to death. He's been very interesting for the last month or so. Won't eat, won't play anymore, but also just won't fuck off and die and let me get on with that tank. But my oldest son, Nug, came and he took my Rivulatus and my Feste off me the other day to put in his big 6-foot tank, which I was quite happy about, to have them go into a big tank. And now I'm left with a whole bunch of tanks that I've got to clean and sort out. And I might lose, not necessarily lose, but remove 1 or even possibly 2 tanks from my collection at the moment.
Okay.
Might be superfluous to my needs.
Right.
Because essentially now I've got 4 tanks that just have a few bristlenose in it. And, I could potentially just throw all those bristlenose into 1 tank and remove 2 or maybe even 3. Time will tell.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've got a lot of cleaning and reorganizing, especially of this space out here that I sit in. Try and make things a bit tidier and more efficient.
Yeah.
Would be a good goal. And if I can cut down from, however many tanks I've got now and reduce it by a couple, that's probably beneficial.
For sure. Had Corvus seen June yet?
Yes, of course he has. He was Juning the first week.
I've got an offer to get a 32 gigabyte stick and get a download from a friend.
Is it only in cinemas down here? Do we not have the opportunity to purchase it for streaming?
No, you gotta use a VPN and pretend you're in America to get HBO Max to get it, which sucks.
It'll be streaming in no time. I'm quite happy to exercise patience and wait.
Yeah. I want to watch it on my big screen. Go to the fucking cinemas. Fuck them.
Yeah, I'd rather watch it in my room on my big screen with big sound and have the ability to smoke a joint while you're watching it and stuff. And
absolutely. Yeah.
You can't do that in the cinema. You can't push pause in the cinema and go to the toilet for a quick spliff and a piss.
Yeah. or even just to pause it and go, what the fuck, and have a talk about what you watched.
Yeah, let's discuss the last 27 minutes.
Yeah, wow. But my friend dropped over there today and he wouldn't tell me. I was like, how did Batista and Momoa go? The fight between Atreides and Harkonnen, and he said, "Not telling you, not spoiling anything for you." I'm like, come on, give it to me. Let me know. How was the
I like
fight
this
between
guy.
those two? And he's tight-lipped. He said, "No, not telling you shit. You got to watch it." I'm like, "Fuck you, man."
No,
That's what
I'm a fan of this guy's behavior. That's good.
Yeah.
No one needs spoilers.
Yeah, he has good decorum. Keen to watch it though. Fuck.
Yeah. Do the big vac. What do you mean, Doug? Do the big vac. Ah, Vince. you only got to live 2 days, and you got to get laid on one of those days. Not so bad. You're on a 50% pace. Yeah, but you end up being one of those beetles that doesn't get laid. You end up humping some human's thumbnail.
Oh, I got back to the Lapidary Club on Monday.
Lapidary Club.
Yep, cutting stones. Some Sheila on Facebook posted in a gem identification page some find that she got out of a garden when she was digging a flower bed, and it turned out to be some Aussie fluorite in Wollongong. So I said, send it to me, I'll identify it, I'll cut it, I'll turn it into jewelry, and I'll send you a piece of jewelry for free if you send me the rock. So I started that mission, and man, I'm impressed. It's some really fucking hard fluorite with beautiful UV properties.
So it has turned up. You've got it.
I've cut it in the process.
What do you mean that it's hard? Was it difficult to cut?
Oh, usually fluorite's really soft and clear.
Does that mean it crumbles when you cut it?
Yeah, a little vibration and the whole stone can just, shatter. But this stuff's really, really dense and hard, like really hard fluorite. So it's promising, and it glows so well under the UV light. It's beautiful. It's a disco stone. The black lights.
Black lights and rocks are always a good combination.
If you got the right ones, yeah. If you're ever going to buy a diamond, check out the diamonds first with a black light. Because if you can find a diamond that fluoresces under black light, that diamond's cooler than a diamond that doesn't glow. Just saying. Check it out. Diamonds are highly overrated and stupidly expensive, and you might as well get a cool fucking diamond if you're going to buy one than a shit one.
Indeed. G'day, Scotty. Alien World Aquatics. Scotty, that is. How's it going? Trying to get some gaming organised with Scotty that we can film and potentially put up some dodgy gaming videos.
Okay.
On the YouTubes and stuff. Bloody kookaburras. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that on either my channel or Alien World Aquatics channel. If you're not subscribed to Alien World Aquatics channel, subscribe now. Otherwise, you'll miss out on the quality experience that when I game provides for all viewers. Dodgy gaming, yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, we could put some clips into my live streams of the really, really, really dodgy stuff because there'll be plenty of it. I'm not a very good gamer. I'm chock full of dodgy gaming experiences. All right, Alley Cat, thanks for hanging out. As long as you did, you've exceeded the expectation of the normal human by lasting this long. You've done very well. Congratulations. Or I guess the main thing you can aspire to now is getting that bucket of kudos when the stream launches every week. James Hukulak currently occupies the placeholder, the leading number in buckets of kudos, but everyone can have a crack at trying to be first in the chat when the stream goes up. It's because we're so old, Doug. Our country is so old. It's so much older than the rest of the planet, if you ask people. So ancient. So ancient is our land.
Yeah.
As ancient as the rest of the world, but we'll still claim to be.
I was watching
more
these
ancient.
videos last night about what's hot in Tucson, which is like the gem trade fair.
In Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, every year they have a gem dealer fair that goes on. That's huge. And these videos of this guy, he's just pulling out these beautiful chunks of rock, like beautiful crystals. And that was all awesome. Emma's getting into it. And I was like, she's playing with the Instagram. So I was like, fuck this. I'm going to listen to some music instead. Put on some music and then listen to a few tracks. And then on my YouTube feed came up the perfect blend. There was a DJ with a full rig of his DJ equipment in a cave checking out the crystals.
Right.
So I was like, crystals and music. Fuck yes. DJ in a cave. Sold. I loved it. And we watched that. That was pretty hectic. The tight squeezes you got through. It was really cool. And then we watched
some of that
video.
shit's ridiculous, isn't it? The bloody holes they got to get through.
Yeah, man. Crazy with this huge rig of like mixing desks hanging off his shoulders.
He's cutting all that shit through as well.
Yeah, with the light and the camera and everything, the whole rig. He fucking pulled it off though. And then we watched all that, and then the next video I checked out his channel, and the next video he had himself in a kayak cruising through all the rivers in the UK, in London, all the canals and shit. He's got the full DJ rig cruising around in his kayak, fucking partying it up. It's fucking a machine, this guy. Risking all of his gear just to get location.
Just to get that vid.
Yeah. Doing it for the viewers. And he does live streams. So we can tune in and watch him doing it live as he's fucking cruising down wherever he's going on his adventures.
G'day, bored old fart. I'm going to make a massive assumption and say that's Gaffer Haynes. Gaffer Haynes is now a bored old fart. What's wrong with you, Gaffer? Did you lose interest in everything? Can't see properly with those on. They're too dark.
You want some opals, eh? They're not cheap. If you want a good one, I've got the goods. I'll show them off on another video what we've got left.
There you go. Beast is a good source for Australian opal.
Yeah, I've got a nice bit of boulder with a tanzanite on the top of it on the bale. It's fucking a beauty. Emma got upset and I was like, Emma, I'm claiming that. She said, Josh, that's a $450 rock I could sell. And I said, I don't care. I'm keeping that one. You can get fucked. It's mine. And she said, okay, fair enough. You like the purple and green. I'm going to keep one too. And yeah, a couple of friends bought other ones, and then we sold a bunch to the shops. And I think we've got a few left. But yeah, they're fucking gorgeous. So we sold them for $450, and that would end up being like a $1,200 piece retail.
Is it? Am I correct in saying that apart from Australia, Sri Lanka is the next biggest exporter of opal to the world?
Ethiopia has really good opal, but it's not stable usually. It's water
What does
opal.
that mean?
Well, it's very delicate. Like, it looks beautiful, but as soon as you try and cut it,
It might crumble.
Yeah, and it dehydrates. Like the color play is due to microscopic water inclusions, and as it dries out, it basically just turns to shit. So, there is some specimens that come out of Africa that are really good and are gemmy and hold their color and are not aqueous, but very expensive.
Thank you. Do you want to come and say hello to the world? Say hello to all of the world out here.
Hello, world.
Americans and Australians and maybe a European in here as well.
Who you got there, Mike?
That's my sister Debbie. Now you've been introduced. Now you have to come and be on camera.
G'day, Debbie. Hello. What's going on?
That's Joshua that's speaking to you.
Hello, Joshua. Hang on. There, that's I'm in. What's going on? I'm going to have a cup of tea.
Cup of tea and a biggie?
No, a piece of cake.
Piece of cake?
Piece
no
of cake.
disco biscuits?
Yeah, there is actually. There's home baked too.
Home baked disco biscuits?
Oh, absolutely.
Disco biscuits. I don't know about the disco biscuits, but there's certainly a wide selection of biscuits available in this household.
Cupboard. Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
Super. So where are you from?
Just down the road.
Down the road.
Oh, well, good on yous.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Couldn't bloody... So you're telling me you've got the world and you've got just down the bloody road.
There was an American guy here earlier, but he left because he has to sleep and stuff.
Oh, poor form. Poor form.
And Sarah was here before too, but she had to go too because she
had to go and pick the boys up?
No, she just gets cranky when the American guy doesn't let her talk.
An American over talking everyone. Yeah, I'll find
out.
out.
Hey, we don't do racial slurs here.
No. So, Mikey, I did a thing last night. I cooked up a nice loin of lamb.
Loin of lamb.
And let it rest and got all the pan juices and the oil, the fat and stuff. Got the drippings and saved them in a jar. And a friend rocked over with some quality ganja. And I said, can I get some? And he said, do you want to smoke it? I said, no, I don't want to smoke it.
I want to soak it in my fat.
Yeah, I cooked it in the fat and decarboxylized it, soaked it in the fat and had weed and lamb fat drippings and then dunked bread into it. And it was fucking delicious. It was so good. So next time I have a lamb roast, I'm going to get some bud and liberally dress the lamb leg with bud insertions.
I am totally 107% on board with this idea. I'm going to do this too.
So tasty and felt amazing too. It was like something that just seemed so perfect, cooking with weed. Like, I've had cookies before, but they're always sweet. But weed with savory, it was just mind blowing. It was so good.
Especially considering you fulfill those requirements of having something hot and oily or fatty, if you will, to distribute those sensible molecules where they need to go.
Oh yeah. Yummy, yummy.
That's a great idea. Fucking weed lamb roast. I'm sold. I'm gonna try that. I got one in the freezer just over here. Big leg of lamb ready to cook.
Nice.
Yeah, can't wait. Anyway, we should probably call this quits.
No worries. Glad I could be a part of it.
I'm glad you turned up and encouraged me to let my hair out and wear sunglasses and stuff.
Fucking oath. Be free.
Oh, you know what I should...
Free Guy?
Have I what?
Seen Free Guy.
No, I haven't seen that. Is it free yet? Speaking of Free Guy? Or is it still a rental? Yeah, last time I looked on... I can't remember whether it's on Prime or Disney, but last time I looked at it was still like pay $9 or something to rent it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's certainly on my list of as soon as I don't have to pay extra for it, I'm going to have a bit of a watch.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Respect the blue shirt.
Yeah, what I wanted to do on the exit of today's program is play a song that I haven't played for a long time, but I know there's a certain group of people in my people that really enjoy this song. So I want to play a song on the way out, and I'll probably play it again next week on the way in because I've only just included it in my video presentations on this what is it called, StreamYard. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, Z-Beam and Corvus and Scungy, as long as it was, as brief as it was, and as minimal words that you got in. I'm sorry about that. But everyone else that's been watching, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to play this song. I'm going to go and do a wee, make a drink, and I'll probably come back and, have some more words to say afterwards.
See ya. I'm
Good
out.
to see you, bro. All right.
Take it.
See you in a moment.
For sure.
Take it easy.
Bye.
So for all of those left and that give us stuff, have a bloody go at some maths.
Got a thing for numbers. I like to play with them. I've got a thing for numbers and I like to play with them. It's called maths. Maths. It's called maths. Maths. It's called maths. It's called maths. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. I like numbers. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. I like numbers. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. It's called maths. Called maths. It's called maths. 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 It's called maths. 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 Got a thing for numbers. I like to play with them. I've got a thing for numbers and I like to play with them. It's called maths. Maths. It's called maths. 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 It's called maths. It's called maths. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. I like numbers. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. I like numbers. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. It's called maths. Called maths. It's called maths. 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 It's called maths. 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 All the numbers. All the pretty little numbers. I like them. All the numbers. All I like the numbers. It's called maths. It's maths. It's called maths. You know it's maths, yeah. It's called maths. It's called maths. Called maths. It's called maths. It's called maths.
Oh, crikey, that must have a long end. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, as usual, hanging out with Few Mob and stuff. Good stuff. By Path, good stuff. Skipper's still here. Richard McCarthy, g'day. Blacky likes numbers. I like numbers. I like the things I can do with them. I like numbers. Bloody vintage Blacky song right there. And you all heard it first here on this channel, I hope. Otherwise, I got a lawsuit impending. Anyway, thanks for hanging out again, everyone. Thanks, GRB. Moderator skills, legendary still. Not yet, Vince, but potentially now might be the time to investigate biting mushrooms and then see who else is streaming and go on someone else's stream with a belly full of mushrooms. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I think generally, as a rule, if I go on someone else's stream after mine, I tend to derail it a little bit and maybe cause a little bit of chaos. So what harm can a little bit of mushroom do? One way to find out. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out yet again. We always, well, I don't know about you, but I always enjoy these Wednesdays where I get to just share a little bit of time with you people. It's my escape from my world of pain and hurt and terrible angst and whatnot. Yeah, these streams it's my therapy. I think they go a long way. It's often random Vince. I'm not sure who would be. Hang on, let me flick to my YouTubes and see if I've got notifications. Kevin's Canines and Aquatics. I think he's generally the guy that goes after me. But yeah, generally he likes to start a little bit earlier, and sometimes he waits for me to finish, and sometimes I just go too long to make him wait. So feel free to go and check out Kevin's Canines and Aquatics. He's a lovely young man. I've got a lot of time for Kevin. Go and check out his stuff. Tell him I sent you so he knows that I'm not just running over his time and not acknowledging his existence. And also, before I go, to big congrats to Aquamate, one of my Australian fish tubing brothers. Made his 3,000 subscribers, and he's doing a 3,000 subscriber giveaway too. So check him out on Instagram or on the YouTubes and find out how you can enter his giveaway for 3,000. I hope it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's already happened. Fingers crossed it hasn't, because I haven't even got my entry in yet. I'd like to win whatever he's giving away. Free stuff's great. It's so bloody great, isn't it? So yeah, go check out Kev's stream if you're not ready for sleep yet, or if you're not ready for dinner yet, depending on what part of the planet you're on. If you're not ready for breakfast yet, some people are probably 4 o'clock in the morning, and cornflakes are the furthest thing from your mind. But anyway, we'll piss off and go and get some other shit happening. Did I say thanks again 4 times yet? I think that's generally my standard. So thanks again, everyone, and we'll pop back next week for a bit more of this wafty nonsense. A crazy cool light is one of the prizes. There you go. Get into those Aquamate prizes. I'm not sure if he's 3,000. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't put a what do you call it? International limited stuff. I mean, we did a giveaway a couple of weeks ago for my 100th stream, and we're sending prizes international. So you'd imagine that for 3,000 subscribers, let alone 100 streams, you'd do international shipping for sure. All right, everyone. Thanks heaps. Be good. Look after each other. Try not to give idiots too much shit, but just the right amount of shit you've got to give the idiots. Don't let them get away with it. And I'll see yous when